A new era dawns to fill the void. An unfamiliar path with a pulse of its own.
3, 2, 1.
Final Encounter Cast. Interesting conflicts, not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalEncounterCast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
What's up? Welcome to Final Encounter Cast. Thanks for joining us live at twitch.tv/Final Encounter Cast. Happy to have you along for the show today. Got a lot to talk about. A lot has happened in the last week. We've seen the release of Final Fantasy 15, but we also, this week, saw the Game Awards, the 2016 Game Awards. Surprisingly, a lot to talk about there, as well as the 2016 PlayStation Experience, and a bunch of announcements coming out of Sony as well. We're going to break all of that down for you here today on Final Encounter Cast. Joining me, of course, is my crew. As always, we've got Robbie, Nika, Chris, and Callie. Now, Chris, I haven't
adjusted. That's my name. Thank you so much for saying my name properly.
I thought his name was Kit.
It's
okay,
Kip.
So let's go into the news.
Oh, it's absolutely Kip.
The news. That's the way the news goes. Here's what's on this world.
Is it Kip with a? It's a Kip with a K.
No, it's Kit.
No, K-I-T.
Kit. Like the
That's
car.
right, Kit.
Like the cat.
Kit.
Kit Kat.
The kitten.
Oh, God, they had to have called him Kit Kat at one point. You know that happened.
Oh, yeah. Did that happen?
Not that I recall.
Was
No.
it short
Kit
for
Kat Chris.
kitten?
I don't think so.
Kit
Who
Kat
came
Chris.
up with that name? Was that it?
I think I did, but
You did?
You came up with your own nickname?
You asked to be called Kit. Oh, no.
He must have been a Hasselhoff.
Okay. My name is Christopher, and that was a lot of letters when you're 3 years old. So just do Kit. Can I be called Kit? Sure, Kit.
Really?
K-I-T.
Really?
Even then, he was lazy. I was like, I don't want to learn that name.
Seriously.
I need something shorter.
Okay, well, when I was 5, I abbreviated Christopher to Christ.
Oh.
My name is really hard to make, okay? You don't know the struggles of a Christopher.
I would love to be there like a fly on the wall the moment he came downstairs like, Mom, I'd like if you call me Christ from now on. And she's like, oh. God.
Better than that, it was probably a teacher who first saw it.
Well, yeah, it was in like kindergarten. I'm just like, Chris. Period. And I put a period at the end to show that it was
Yeah, you know,
An abbreviation.
yeah.
So,
That's
Well,
what
I
always
mean,
was.
you knew that.
what do you
That's
do
pretty
with
good.
what do you do with the fucking the jumble of letters that is your last name at that point?
Oh, G. That's it.
Christ G. Christ G. No, wait. Hang on.
Christ is a G.
This is so much better than Kit ever was. You're now
Christ G.
Christ G. This is your
The
new
original G.
This
you
is your
totally-
new rap name.
You totally had to have those moments in
Did you spell?
schools
There's
like
no
I
S
did.
in there. You messed it. You messed it up. How do you spell Christ wrong?
What?
You spelled crit.
R-I-S-T.
Oh yeah, I forgot the
Jeez.
S. Whoops.
Yeah. I was gonna get. Is it Joe or Joseph? You always got. Is it Chris, Christ, or Christopher?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Something like that.
There's plenty of Jesuses out there, but there's only one Christ.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, two. I mean, the
Stupidest
original
name I've ever heard.
and Christ.
You do have you have a collection of nicknames that is about as stupid as Callie over here.
Oh, that's good.
He's our own mother of dragons.
It's funny.
Now introducing, Chris G, Christ G, Kit, the juxtaposition, mother of memes, father of the drops,
Okay, yeah, I like that. Can you put that under my name now?
Krisha.
Oh, man. All right. Get your calls lined up. Final Encounter Cast on Skype, 810-207-1764.
Talk to Christ himself.
We are, of course, a call-in show. Yes, you can bring your troubles before Christ if you like.
This is why all of his predictions always come true.
Oh my God, he's the prophet.
Now it all makes sense.
He's more the Antichrist. Shit.
Wow.
More of a prophet, less of a podcast host.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Oh, we're having a great time. How are you doing
Having
today?
a ball.
You're getting the shit beaten out of you
Yeah,
today.
can we go into something that's not about me or my name?
You usually love when the attention's on you.
Yeah.
Not when it's this bad.
Well, you know what?
You
We
forgot
actually,
Krisha in that line.
I said Krisha at the end.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
Thank you, asshole.
We have not selected a drop for him, by the way. We haven't played the drop game in a
Oh,
while.
the drop game.
We forgot
Yes,
about the
let's
drop
play
game.
the drop game.
All right, I've picked the last couple and they
All
haven't
right.
been so good. So you go
You have how many drops now?
in the all category.
I know. I'm trying to find it.
Christ, come on!
That's his name.
Hold on. It's broken. Okay.
Is it
91? Oh,
no?
wait, I can,
91
hold,
in
hold,
the all
pages.
it's
hold on.
It's the all category, buddy.
Relax. 1087. Go low if you want one I don't have.
All right.
1087.
Let's do 271.
271. All right, that's that is the drop that Christ has to fire, and we have to laugh at.
That's one I've had before. Well, not before, but
Oh, okay,
it's one that I.
270,
It's a regular one.
272.
Oh shit. Well, fuck.
You're picking numbers in his like
Is that
normal
too high?
range.
No,
Yes.
no. That was
Yeah.
that was a fine one.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Fine. We'll go with that. But yeah, no.
I don't want to go too low.
No, if you go real low, there's some weird ones from me in there.
There's things that just make no sense.
There are weird,
But I think that would
really
be the
weird ones.
best
Someone
one picked.
last episode had a really great idea where we take the drop of his mom saying the penis thing and putting that on one of the drops he uses a lot, but not telling him.
I like that. That's a great idea.
We'll shuffle it around every episode.
That's a great idea. Anyway,
oh my god.
thanks for joining us here on Final Encountercast. We're excited to have you along for today. Got a lot to talk about, but first, let's check out what's been going on in the news. Oh, I have it muted. Oh,
You
look at
stupid
I
dumbass.
know, I'm terrible. Look at that. All right, let's check out what's going on in the news.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
Alrighty, well, amid all of the young gooses named Donald Trump in the Wonder Trade, Pokemon Sun and Moon players noticed this week that a few moves have been banned in all PvP battles. The moves Memento and Parting Shot have been temporarily banned due to their Z-powered versions possibly causing the game to crash.
Ooh.
A fix will hopefully be available shortly.
That's
That does suck.
That's kind of a big problem.
Yeah, that's definitely not something that you want to overlook.
Yeah, and they do assure people don't take the moves off your Pokemon. We'll have it fixed.
And it's not like, dude, it's not like a balancing issue. It's literally this could cause your game to crash, which, I mean, kind of makes sense because the frame rate chugs to almost 4 at certain points, it is really bad.
No, remember, they're dramatic pauses.
Yeah, they sure are.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, that's what the bubble says.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyway, well, that's the other thing. I just real quick, I really want to say to literally anyone who can hear the sound of my voice right now, okay? If you
Penis.
name a young goose Trump or some variation of that,
What about
Donald,
Drump?
the Donald,
Drump was
Don,
funny.
Drump?
Ivanka, I mean, anything, just fucking find a bridge to throw yourself off of because
I mean,
you're
be
not.
fair, though, young goose
you're
kinda
not
looks
funny.
like him.
You're.
Yeah, but the joke's dead.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! No! Nate! She's right! Have you looked at him? He does look like Donald Trump!
That's why that's
you?
the joke.
That's the joke! Oh my god, Nika! I didn't actually get it, but now I do! Because it's like his hair! Right?
Oh my gosh.
I cannot tell if you're being sarcastic.
Wow, mine is blown! Juxta, can I get the glass breaking drop, please? That is hilarious! I'm going right to the name raider when I get home and I am changing it to Donald Trump.
And
That
make sure
is
you trade all of
perfect.
them to Nate.
That is perfect. Holy fuck. fuck?
My God.
Right?
I cannot tell if you're being sarcastic or serious.
Mind blown.
Oh my god, I need a minute.
The fact that you can't tell makes it funnier. Oh God. Oh my God.
I can't
I've
tell,
never
and
seen Nate
regardless,
so,
it's
like,
hilarious,
happy.
and I think you should send all of his young gooses to uni.
I agree.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh, my stomach literally hurts. Holy shit.
Man.
Oh my God. I was gonna do a huge rant about how you're just not fucking funny if you.
It is funny. Though.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not
It
funny.
was funny the first
It's not
time.
funny. It's hilarious because you're oblivious to the fact that you're explaining the joke to us. That's why it's funny right now. But in any other context, that's just not fucking funny. It
is funny.
No, it's not.
It is though. It is hilarious, and I actually cracked up reading that article, and I think it's hilarious. So please keep doing it.
You keep using that word, but I'm not convinced you know what it means.
It's hilarious.
Nika, you know what? You are that person that walks into my store, and when I go, "Can I help you find anything today?" They go, "Do you have a pair of jeans?" or when I go to scan something and it doesn't work, that's free, right?
That means it's free.
Oh God.
Totally, dude. Of course. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna do it on purpose.
Nate, I gotta tell you, that worked out better than you could have hoped for.
What the fuck?
It's funny. I don't know how you don't think it's funny.
It's
I think
funny because it's not. It's so not. It's literally, yeah. Oh, like it's the most obvious dumb joke that you can make. Like, of course, yes. Everyone made that joke like 9 months ago when they first put Young Goose out. Like,
this is the dad joke that dad's grown at.
Yes!
Maybe that's why it was less funny to me because I didn't see the joke originally.
How did you miss it? It was everywhere.
Oh my God.
I didn't see it back then because I didn't really follow Pokemon news very closely.
Okay.
So once I saw this thing going around, I was like, oh my gosh, he really does look like him. And then I thought it was hilarious. So
Well, whatever.
Well, I'm happy.
I was mad I didn't think of it.
Bye, everybody. We're done.
That's our show.
That's
the
it.
show. It's all
That's
downhill
We're
after
done.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is it okay if I name all my Cursola Trump?
Anyway.
That actually might be kind of funny. That there you go.
Nate, you got the lighting over here on my camera really good this month. This week.
This month?
Well, this is the
month,
first
how
time.
often is it?
This is my first time being here in the month, so yeah, it's applicable.
This monthly show that I do.
Well, this month, it's only the 4th day of this month.
Ugh. So, promising there will be attractions for people of all ages and gaming experience levels, Nintendo has officially announced it has a section opening in Universal Studios Hollywood, Orlando, and Japan. Planning and construction is already underway and looks to open over the next few years. So, yeah,
OMG.
here's
Wait.
Nintendo attractions at Universal
Nintendo?
Studios. Yep.
Yeah.
Like theme park?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nintendo theme park at all 3 locations.
OMG. We should make a trip there as a group.
What if you could catch virtual Pokemon and throw Pokeballs at the Pokemon?
They have said that all the attractions will be immense and immersive.
Hang on. Well,
Can we go on a field trip,
Can't throw
Papa?
rocks at women.
Daddy?
not allowed. Well, what do you guys? I mean, if you compare this up to, other theme park attractions elsewhere, what do you guys hope is a thing?
Oh God!
Like a Super Mario obstacle course? Like what?
Maniac Mansion.
An actual mansion that you have to go inside of.
Out of all of the ideas of different theme parks, they have the Star Wars theme park coming too.
Right.
When I really think about it, when I think about like the giant attractions or people dressed up as characters, the Nintendo one is one that I would actually want to go to more than anything else.
I want a picture of Zelda.
Yeah, Metroid. I'd like to see Chris race somebody dressed up as Sonic.
I could see a Metroid ride kind of like that Buzz Lightyear one where you have to shoot the aliens.
I would trip
You
him.
have to like shoot Metroids and stuff.
I would like to see Chris race Sonic and trip him before they start.
Oh God! Yeah, they're at the starting line. He just pushes Sonic over and starts running.
He grabs his tail and hits him with it.
Oh my God!
I think that though they would be able to use 3D virtual reality type stuff to great effect.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Absolute great effect.
I think that's very true. That's a good observation. We might be indeed moving into a whole new phase of theme park attractions if you think about it. But I mean, like, I'm thinking, like, you can do so many cool themed coasters, like Pilot Wings. What was that?
Pilot Wings is great.
Yeah.
Someone just suggested a Mario Kart go-kart course.
Oh my God!
Yes.
There you go. See, you need to think beyond the traditional rides, because when it comes to movies, right? When you think of making an attraction out of them, your mind kind of automatically goes to just traditional rides, because what else are you supposed to do with just a normal movie?
Right.
But when it comes to something like games, they are inherently already designed to be interactive.
Right.
All you have to do is bring literally what you see on the screen to life. Having someone go through like an actual, like Mario course where, when they're hitting certain bricks, power-ups might pop out of them and things like that would be amazing. A go-kart style Mario Kart.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Real Mario Party. Imagine putting
real-life Mario Party.
Cool.
Four of you on like an island that like tilts around. If you fall off, you fall into like a ball pit or fuck it, even water. I don't care. That'd be hilarious.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Ghost House from Mario.
Yeah.
There's an entire world of opportunity. That
Limitless
exists here.
possibilities.
Yeah.
Imagine
seriously.
American Gladiators, but Nintendo themed.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
I
So
dig
awesome. So awesome.
Agreed.
Despite firmly stating it would never happen, Netflix released a feature today allowing users to download content to play later. The feature, intended for when a user knows they'll be unable to connect to the internet, is now available for a portion of the Netflix library and has a mix of their originals and other series.
What do you guys think about this?
How does that work? Does it then become like, is this like the stuff that can be streamed?
You
So-
basically, you download it in advance, and then you can for playback on your machine, on your device.
But then, like, Netflix cycles the stuff that they have. So if
Right.
I downloaded something to watch now and then they cycled it out, would I still have it?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Here's what I would guess is that the stuff that Netflix doesn't directly have ownership in, that they haven't directly funded themselves, that they wouldn't have the ability to distribute like that they probably will not. Right? Like, because either that or it has to come attached with some pretty complicated DRM that will shut it off if the
You try to copy it.
contract runs out, or if you try
Or
to
if
copy
you
it.
tried to like burn it.
Right.
Which would have been my only weird like fear, towards it would be this is obviously being kept somewhere on your machine. It would be really easy to duplicate.
Right.
But if it's with all Netflix properties, those are essentially free anyhow. But then when you really start to think about it, I mean, things being pirated nowadays, is there really any stopping it?
Yeah, I actually think, like now it is becoming very difficult because of the way that sites are becoming that sites are being prosecuted for that sort of stuff. Kick-Ass has kind of gone away.
No, they're back up, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like there's only going to be so far that's going to be able to go before it'll always be out there. But the thing that I've noticed about it is that pirating things becomes sketchier and sketchier and more dangerous for the person, the end user. Like, it becomes more dangerous for you because you could end up with a virus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and that is, I think, the thing that's deterring people far more than just having a platform for it to be available on. Like, why risk all of my data? Why risk my computer when I can just pay $3 or
in some cases not pay anything?
Right. Yeah.
This has been an online safety tip from Xerox.
Idiot.
I mean, that may be true. I don't think it's true for those reasons, because I don't think that as many people are as smart as you or I and actually worry about the virus thing. I think that they're probably at risk from a ton of other sources than that before they even get that far anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, but I'm just saying, like, the more people get used to the idea of paying for it, one of the things that I've found recently is that, when an artist will put out a new track for an album that they're doing, like they do a pre-release thing, usually, or at least what used to happen, is that that used to make the rounds to a whole bunch of different blogs and streaming sites who would actually host the MP3. And instead now it's being filtered through SoundCloud. The MP3 is never even available. It's being filtered through Spotify or whatever. So that as soon as the artist wants to say, well, that's not available anymore, all of those blogs that end up reposting it, It's gone from their blog as well. So,
But there aren't ways to,
download
record that?
There are. Yeah, there are.
I guess that's kind of my thing, is that there's always going to be somebody out there. There's always going to be some way to do it. But I think what's going to make it...
Well, I'm just saying, you're right, but I'm just saying that that's shrinking,
Right,
I think.
yeah, and I think the real reason is that more and more the actual source of it is starting to get more into letting things release immediately. I mean, we talked last year about the CW making the deal with Netflix, that the day that any of their properties releases its finale, a week later, they're immediately available on Netflix.
Right.
Some movies, I think there's a recent movie last year that did that the day it came out in theaters, it was also available for digital download.
And that, I mean, the industry, the media industry is slowly starting to understand,
to realize that porn had the right idea,
the importance of that. Yeah, and I think eventually they're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think at some point you're going to start seeing a lot more of those practices with a lot better content, right? Like, movies that you actually give a shit about will be same day on demand or same day streaming on Netflix, as opposed to just the shit that you don't care about, which is what it is right now.
Yeah.
So Build-A-Bear is now offering a Sonic the Hedgehog plush in honor of his 25th birthday. The plush can be purchased online for $35, and Tails is also available if you would prefer.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, who wants Tails?
What was the other one that was
Eevee?
It was
recently.
Eevee. That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, I would probably get an Eevee. I wouldn't get it.
Can you evolve it?
I saw an Eevee that was in like a pajama onesie that was real cute.
Aw.
Can I get a Sonic and a life-size, accurate version?
No,
you mean anatomically accurate?
Yeah.
That's
what you're
what
going
you
for.
can get
Fucking
is
disgusting.
you can get a Sonic Care toothbrush and brush them damn teeth. It's your brush thing.
I wonder why they would release Eevee as a Build-A-Bear instead of Pikachu.
Pikachu was already a Build-A-Bear, wasn't he?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, he was? Oh, okay.
for
Because
a
I just
while.
feel like Eevee's not very easy to put clothes on because he's like I don't know. He's weird.
People put clothes on their animals all the fucking time, Nika.
Ugh.
You actually
I mean, that's true.
You actually strike me as the type of person who would dress up your pet.
I would if I had a dog that could like stand it. Like our dog once, we got her a Snuggie.
You see? I rest my fucking
She
point.
hated
See,
that thing.
there you go.
Okay,
Oh,
but you got
man.
the dog or something. Like, humans don't like that thing. Wish you think
Yeah.
the dog was going to like it?
What? I love my Snuggie.
I love my
guys.
Snuggie. I love it.
When he played FF15 last night, he came in my room to play it, and he was in his pink onesie. That's when I knew it was going to be a bad night.
God damn, that sucks.
It's really tight on him nowadays.
Well,
owned.
I can't.
No
I can't-
comment there, Chris.
No witty comeback.
Christ.
What is there to say to that?
He's you know what he's doing?
Just looking for a drop.
He's turning the other cheek. That's what he's doing.
See, I thought he would have been like, it shrunk in the wash.
Nothing. No drop even. I'm just sitting
I'm
here.
looking for one. I mean, I don't.
Oh my god.
You don't have time. Next news
All
story.
right, yeah.
You missed the mark.
So
You're
the
a sad
the
man.
UK's advertising.
Oh, no, you declared war on me!
How about that?
No, it's too late.
Yeah, that was way.
Wow.
That was terrible.
The UK's advertising. That was good. Are you all set? You good?
I'm gonna play another one. Just go ahead and start talking.
Chris's mom attended our show.
Shoot me.
Okay.
None of this was funny at all.
Really wasn't.
The UK's Advertising Standards Association has cleared Hello Games of alleged false advertising as it pertains to No Man's Sky, perhaps considering that much of the false advertising was them not discouraging what fans speculated the game would be, as well as many complaints being fixed in subsequent patches. Since launch, they decided to drop the case.
Yay!
Wait, so what was the case? People were trying to sue false advertising because of too much speculation.
No.
People thought the game would be something else.
A government agency in the UK was actually investigating the company for claims of false advertising.
And these cases of false advertising was the fact that some of the stuff that they had claimed either in, I guess, news sources or, different press releases, just all kinds of different stuff, because that guy was talking about it everywhere, that things they said would be in the game weren't in the game, such as being able to see other characters if you found them somewhere in the universe. You couldn't see anybody.
Yep.
Right.
Right. So then, how is the claim being dropped then? If there was actual claim of false advertising?
I guess the way that I would probably see it is that the stuff that was false wasn't advertising. It was some dude saying it, right? And then news stories picked that up and reported on it, but it wasn't actually advertised. Along with the what Callie just said, which was some of the stuff has been fixed in subsequent patches and blah 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 blah.
Right. I think they still had a pretty legit case for it, to be honest with you. I'm surprised that it dropped, but again, this is a government agency that doesn't mean anything to anyone over here, so
That's true,
at the end of the day, what's it matter?
Yeah, it's not like it would actually, make a difference.
Yeah.
Right.
America's not back in this one.
When was the last time that England did something that mattered?
Brexit.
Oh.
Yeah, and we topped that with the election, didn't we?
Hold my beer.
Your move, England.
That's right.
Your move.
All right, we're going to see England's now engaged in a nuclear war. Like, oh, man, they're up in the ante.
With Wales.
What do Wales have anything to do with this?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate
Damn it!
I knew it. That joke was too highbrow for him.
No.
Anyway, so apparently the last few months of development on Metal Gear Solid 5 were even more crazy than we thought. It's being reported that during the last 6 months of development, Kojima was separated from the development team, having to work on another floor of the building and not allowed any contact or any direct contact with the team. It's amazing the game even got done.
That's insane.
That blows my mind.
And this was apparently from the Keighley guy himself.
Jeff Keighley, yeah.
Jeff Keighley told this in an interview.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
This leads me to believe that when we speculated that maybe the reason the end of the game felt so disjointed was that he was trying to institute a feeling of loss. No, I think he just couldn't talk to his team.
Yeah, apparently he had to use like a middleman, like tell my team this, and then they would tell him this. Like, what the actual fuck?
Konami lost their mind.
I still like the idea that he's like, you know what? Fuck you guys then. We're not going to release this last half, and I'm going to make everyone think that it was you.
My head hurts.
That's not a terrible strategy. And dude, Konami is so pretty much universally reviled at this point.
Since we're on,
but that's just a whole new level.
That's literally insanity. Like
the people were trying to at least find justification in the fact that Kojima kept asking for more money and more budget for blah blah blah, so it's kind of justified that Konami was mad at him. Okay, maybe it's justified to be upset with someone. It is not justified to lock them in a room on a different floor and allow him no contact and still say, we expect you to finish the game by this time. That is brutal as fuck.
Kojima's effectively George Costanza. They've locked him in the bunker down in the basement now, trying to sweat him out.
Since we're on the topic of Kojima,
he's like Milton from Office Space.
Can we take a minute to talk about that Death Stranding trailer?
As a part of the Game Awards, we're getting to that.
Okay, all right.
That was revealed at the Game Awards.
Also, I need to say a quick fuck you to someone. Thor Carson says, the last time Britain did anything good, we gave you America back.
Give back. Excuse me.
If I remember correctly, you tried to take it, and we kicked your collective asses out the door.
That's right. We kicked your teetotaling British mumble-mouth marbled fucking pieces of shit out of our country.
Yeah, you potato eaters.
That's right.
And that was after we took it from the Indians. You want to fuck with us?
That's right. We had to kill so many of those. Holy shit.
Well, to be fair, they helped. They did help with that
way
part.
Too far. Okay.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh, I'm sorry, Nika. Are we offending the history that has been cemented in the education system?
Yeah, because God. I'll tell you what, this country was built on almost billions of dead Native Americans. We just killed. I
do know that, but
we killed so many of them.
The way you came out of your mouth.
Inappropriate analogies.
Do you guys want PlayStation Experience or Game Awards first?
PlayStation Experience.
All right.
Game Awards.
I said it first.
I said it second.
I will stab you with
this PlayStation Experience went on this week, and we had tons of great new announcements. One of my favorite personal ones was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite getting its announcement finally. The fourth game in the popular fighting series was confirmed for a late 2017 release, and it's the first one since 2011.
Now, here's the thing. When I was watching this, I could not help but notice, where are the X-Men? Because that was
conspicuously absent.
Seriously. I mean, Marvel versus Capcom, I mean, it wasn't ever X-Men versus Capcom, but for a while, that was the bulk of the focus of most of the characters from the Marvel side.
Yeah, yes, it was. It was.
Am I
X-Men
crazy?
versus
Am I
Capcom.
misremembering something here?
How many characters were shown in the thing? There's
like
4?
3.
4.
Well, I believe their license for X-Men has run out, right?
Are we talking about just the trailer, or did they show actual gameplay as well?
No,
Just
it was the trailer.
Okay, well, yeah,
There's only 4
they only
people.
showed 4 people. Only 2 of them were from Marvel anyway. It makes sense that they would use someone like Iron Man, who's like universally recognizable right now.
Right.
And then I think that Captain Marvel in the comics is still really big, and obviously they would probably want to use, another chick.
I'm just saying.
I don't think we're going to see the X-Men in this one.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, I can't help but notice that. I mean, really, just like the X-Men. The X-Men were huge.
Yeah,
in the
I agree.
in the 90s
I think
version.
it's too soon.
They may have well have called that basically X-Men versus Capcom.
Sure, but I think just what we've seen, I think it's too soon to try and stipulate that the X-Men aren't in it.
Don't they
That's
not have the
ridiculous.
license for the X-Men anymore?
For film.
Yeah, that's just film.
For film.
Dude.
It's not
For
like,
filming.
They didn't like give it away for like everything. They're still making X-Men comics.
There is no reason that the X-Men should not be in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yes. But just I'm conspicuously absent from.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
You're fishing.
Foil
You're
hatting.
fishing.
Nah.
Just stop, Nika.
Nah.
Just stop.
Shots fired.
And you know what? Actually,
I'm never the one that goes that far off the tinfoil hat department.
yeah, okay, I'm not going to touch that one. But
Yeah,
I
me
thought it was really cool that they showed Mega Man X as one of the 4 characters.
Yeah, well, that was one of the very first ones that they showed. Like, a lot of people even thought that it might be a new Mega Man game, and they were like, no.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Like, Mega Man wasn't even in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I know.
Zero was, but Mega Man?
Really?
It's
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think that means that Capcom is trying to drum up some hype for a new Mega Man game?
It could be, but
Maybe.
no.
What?
Capcom
See, now who's
hates
tinfoil
Mega
hatting?
Man.
Come on now.
I know they hate Mega Man. I'm just saying though. Like, it seems it's a weird decision.
It is, but I'm happy.
There's a lot of weird decisions going on in this trailer.
So
I don't know. Who was the girl anyway?
That's Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Is she getting a movie?
She's
Yes.
getting a movie, yes.
All right, there you go. That's your justification. We need a big guy from Marvel, which is Iron Man,
And then-
a movie person to tie it in, and then Ryu, which is obvious,
Right.
and then Mega Man.
Right. Well, no, but I mean, like, but no one. Is anyone really that hyped for Captain Marvel movie? Like, really?
Oh,
I mean,
come on.
I'm
but
seriously.
It's,
if you
it's a little
Wait, for
soon.
a Captain Marvel movie? I am.
It's a little
It's-
soon.
that's what I'm saying. It's
to justify
way
it as
soon.
a movie tie-in.
Way soon.
But I do agree that has to be
Even-
a girl. That should have been a girl. Definitely should have been a girl.
Even if it's not a movie tie-in,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, even if the release of this game does like coincide with the release of the Captain Marvel, like, why
I
would
know-
you? Wait,
I know
wait,
why.
But none of the hype for the movie has started. Why put her in the trailer?
Because one of the major Marvel stories going on right now is Civil War 2, and Captain Marvel is at the head of the other side. She's basically
in the
comics.
Captain
She is
Marvel,
the Iron Man of this Civil War.
That's
era.
right.
Okay, all right,
Yep.
then that's fair.
And she's been making some questionable decisions.
That's fair. Then okay.
So what was everyone's favorite thing at PlayStation Experience?
Did you
vs.
guys even?
Capcom?
Yeah, you guys didn't even watch it.
I did not. I think I was.
I watched
didn't
like
either.
3 pits of it, and definitely Marvel vs. Capcom.
I
Really?
didn't
Now-
even realize it was like on until it was over.
Now that we actually have our PlayStation up and running, what actually excited me the most was The Last of Us 2, because The Last of Us is a game I've been wanting to play for a
Yes.
long time. And I
Yep.
actually was looking up how much it cost, which is only $20 for remastered on PS Network. So I'm probably going to get that very soon to stream it in anticipation for The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, and like, I think that was the most exciting, and I think they saved it right for the end, and the way that they revealed it was, I thought, really good. It had a specific emphasis on the music, which is such a crucial part to that game. I feel like the music really set the stage for The Last of Us, and was part of the reason that I kept playing, was because I just absolutely adored the way that that game was scored. And to put such a heavy emphasis, kind of like narrative wise, on that trailer with Ellie and the guitar, and just the slow reveal that it's Ellie, the slow reveal that it's Joel, and that their adventures are continuing, that I think that was a really effective way to build a whole ton of hype.
Mm-hmm. My group of friends were all freaking out about Last Guardian.
But that's going to be out in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's What are we?
Why
end of
still?
December, right?
Why would you still freak out about it?
Isn't it less than that?
I think it is less than that.
That's what they were excited for coming out of it.
I'm pretty sure it comes out in like the first 9 days of December.
I'm just calling your friends stupid, Callie, is what I'm doing.
They're friends with Callie. What do you expect?
Super. Wait, are we friends with Callie?
No.
Oh.
We are co-workers.
I am friends with Callie.
Of Callie.
Thank you, Nika.
Oh, okay. I understand completely now, Nika. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
So, I mean, there were tons of other announcements.
It comes out this Tuesday, she said.
Yeah, there you go.
Says, fuck. I want the money for this.
That's how this whole, the end of 2016 has felt. Since October, I've just constantly been thinking, I don't have the money for this.
Let It Die, a new game from Suda51. That's pretty exciting.
That looked really weird and terrible.
Hey, we made fun of that on our last show.
Yeah, you stupid idiot.
Well, knowing that Suda's attached to it, I'd check it out.
Cool.
Just having that name, it's automatically, I'm like, oh, that's worth looking at. But apparently is free on PlayStation 4 right now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah. Let It Die. Newest game from Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacturing.
It's
free on PlayStation 4 right now.
You don't.
What is it? Imagine Dark Souls franchise wrapped in a futuristic punk.
Not like a demo, the full game.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's free.
Wow.
Guess I know what I'm doing tonight.
I gotta go do that now.
Fuck you, Xerox, trying to copy me.
Crash Bandicoot is remastered.
Did you call him Callie?
Yeah, because he's copying me.
He's Xerox.
I know.
That doesn't make any sense.
That really makes no sense.
Jesus Christ. Why do we have you on the show?
Seriously.
Because people love me.
Which people? I have to
People sound off in the chat.
Destiny December update.
I love you.
There was another.
Wait, people still play Destiny?
I don't think so.
No.
People still play Division. Now, granted, it's Skuro and his cousin, but they still play.
That's it.
Let's see. Windjammers, the frisbee flinging Neo Geo game.
Oh boy.
It's coming to PS4 and PS Vita.
Uncharted. There, you happy, Kooky? The new Uncharted game.
You know what I was really surprised by was there was a lot of love being thrown around for the Vita. That was really strange. Huh? Yeah, there was one of the main presenters came out on stage, had a Vita in hand, which I automatically noticed from like the get-go. I was like, oh, that's weird.
I thought the Vita...
It was like done, but like so many of these announcements are for the PS4 and the Vita.
That's cool.
Lara Croft Go is a thing.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Just from what I see from right here, that looks terrible.
That's not a mobile game, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is?
Do you have to throw rocks at women? Because that might be up my alley.
No, look, if you're playing as Lara Croft, you probably have to dodge the rocks and chloroform.
Oh, well, I'm out.
Oh, man. Lara Croft Go, Tomb Raider entry in Square Enix's well-executed mobile
Apparently it's like Temple Run, but
oh
with
my God.
Lara Croft.
Because we love those games.
Yeah. PlayStation portable mainstays, Parappa the Rappa.
New one?
New. Well, I think it's getting a remaster for PS4. But I'd love to see a new Parappa. That would be sweet.
Chris, are we going to see you playing the... No, not Parappa. Are we going to see you playing the Crash Bandicoot games remastered?
No.
No? You weren't a Crash guy?
The fuck? I played good mascot games, thank you very much.
You totally strike me as a Crash guy.
Like Mario. I played the Mario
Brothers.
There's a problem. Nintendo made Crash.
The Mario Brothers.
Yakuza 6 and remade other Yakuza game. I don't... Kiwami, I think is that? Well, I don't know. That's going to be coming to the PS4. There was a new trailer for Ni no Kuni 2.
That game's right up your alley, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for it. Ni no Kuni was pretty good.
I'm sure you're excited for it. I'm just... Him...
Me?
Yeah, you. That looks like it's right up your alley, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually it's a really good game.
Oh, shut up.
What? I don't know a single person who's played it that didn't like it.
If I could, I don't know if I could get through physically the amount of cringe that would be induced in the first 10
I
minutes
mean, if you
alone.
like anything that's made by Studio Ghibli, you would like this.
Is it like an anime game?
Oh, it's
No,
totally
it's a video game made by Studio Ghibli, which is the studio that Miyazaki works for. So if you like any Studio Ghibli stuff, you'd love this game.
Just because they make good movies doesn't mean they make good games.
But it is good.
I mean,
I'm
look,
telling you.
look. Square-Enix makes games, and they're having trouble making good games.
We'll talk about it shortly.
Damn.
It's good.
Setting the stage early, I guess. There's also Starblood Arena. Ace Combat is coming back with Ace Combat 7. Yeast Origins, which...
Yeast Origins?
Yeast.
The origins of bread.
Or Wise?
No,
Or
it's
like a yeast
yeast.
infection?
It's yeast is how it's actually said.
Geese?
Yeast.
Oh, is that like that the code yeast, I guess? Code geese?
Wasn't it YS? Wise?
Yeast. It's God damn it! Why do I have to keep saying this? It's yeast. I'm 100% sure.
How's it spelled?
Why? Yeah, that might help.
Does it have a G in front of it?
No.
Oh, it's not what I think it is.
Is
then.
it YEES? E? Cookie says
it's pronounced
yes.
it's yes.
It's not yes.
Yes.
If you listen, if you listen,
Yes.
if you listen to the presenter, he says
Yes.
That's interesting. Because everyone I've ever known who's played that series just called it Wise.
Well, they're wise. They're fucking retarded. Is what they're
Wise?
stupid.
What the honk are you talking about?
A Y with an S at the end. Wise.
Oh,
it's
my
wise?
gosh.
Not wise like someone's wise, but it's like multiple Y's, like plural of Y's.
Look at
How
all
many
those
Y's are there?
There's too many Y's in
No.
that word.
But there's only one, actually.
Okay, now hold on. Is this like Y's as in like the Y fighter from Star Wars? Because I might be into that kind of game.
It's
I
the
don't think that's
Y-wing.
what it is.
Oh my god! Please.
Yeah.
Nate, are you okay?
It's like 3 times this show we have killed you.
So dumb.
We're on a roll.
Gravity Rush 2 DLC, I guess is.
Hooray!
Yeah, that's mostly.
It's actually pronounced Yavity Rush.
Stop. Oh, God.
Don't you like,
It's Gavity Rush, okay? Christ has spoken.
don't you like how when we have a show just filled with shit, we derail like
I know.
80 times
It's
more?
terrible.
And the times where we need to actually like get something out. Wow, it actually is free. Holy crap. Okay.
Guys, we're past that.
It's free?
I'm not. I'm on it.
now.
Pops.
Swag.
Get it right now. Fuck it.
All right. Anything else at the PlayStation Experience?
I think that's it.
Okay.
That was most of the announcements that they had put
we're
out.
done there.
At least the ones that anyone gives a shit about.
Also this week, we had the Game Awards that went on. They are officially over, and while we're not going to dedicate the whole show to it this year, we do, of course, have some winners that we want to run down. To the surprise of exactly no one, Overwatch did very well, winning Best Game, Best Multiplayer, Best Esports Game, and giving Blizzard a win for Best Direction. Inside won Best Indie Game and Art Direction, while Pokemon Go took Best Mobile App and Family Game. And you can, of course, find a full list of the winners at our blog.
That's at finalencountercast.com.
I had a quick question for you guys.
Look, nobody just first of all, real quick, no one watches the Video Game Awards.
Who is hosting?
For
Same
the
guy.
winners. Nobody cares who wins. Nobody gives a shit. It's not an award that even the game creators give a fuck about.
Wait,
Nobody
but-
cares about this.
But I think they're getting more and more prestigious, though, as the years go on.
The reason anyone watches the shit is because of the trailers that drop
And the
there.
sizzle reels. Oh.
Yeah, they're really good.
What was who won the best fan game?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I think Brutal Doom did. Wasn't it that and one other game running for that at that point? Because they knocked everything else off?
Pokemon Uranium should have won, I thought.
Well, I'm looking. Hang on.
I think it was Brutal Doom.
I just want to. Some of the winners are incredible.
What I
dumb.
absolutely love is the fact that the Witcher expansion won Best RPG.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
But, to be fair, also, the Witcher expansion has as much game content as an entire game. So, well worth it.
You're right. Best fan creation. They did not end up padding that category back out, and it doesn't. There's no winner listed. It doesn't look like they actually announced a winner for best fan
No
creation.
one won the fan
That
game.
means Uranium won.
That means that they dropped I think they dropped the category.
They might as well have, since 2 of their entries were knocked off.
That's what we were saying, but I think that's a really shitty thing to do. And the fact that they caved to Nintendo pressure to do that. is just that's miserable.
Callie, if you can recall on the article that talked about the whole Kojima being locked in a separate room thing,
right?
That was in an interview with that Keeley guy, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he also say something about how the Game Awards don't cave to pressure like all the other ones, yet they fucking did?
They did. They totally
did. What fucking bullshit.
I mean, they're totally playing down the fact that, they caved to Nintendo on Pokemon Uranium and on this Metroid remake, and then apparently
blatantly lying about it,
and then just dropped the category. Like, that's ridiculous.
Had to happen.
I think I'd rather they drop the category than fill it out with 2 other people and then give it to someone who doesn't deserve to win.
Did they talk about? I mean, granted, I did not see the entirety of the Game Awards. I tuned in right at the Death Stranding trailer, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I didn't see anything before that. I don't know. If they addressed this, then it's forgivable. If they said, look, Nintendo got a hold of us and they were like, we're not terribly happy with this decision, and so we thought it would be best to just eliminate the category, that's one thing. If you're being honest and transparent about it, that's fine. But if I'm to believe this article here, it just looks like one wasn't selected.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, real quick, Doom won Best First-Person Shooter, right? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that for sure.
Doom won Best Action Game.
Right. Best Action Game.
Was Overwatch in the action game category?
It was. It beat Overwatch for the action. Yes.
How does it beat Overwatch for that, yet Overwatch takes Game of the Year? When I see stuff like that...
For other purposes.
What that makes me think, though, when I see stuff like that, is they're like, oh, this game's won too much. Give it a little bit of love over here.
Yeah, think about it. If you have the best game ever, the best game of the year, wouldn't that by proxy mean they are also the best action game?
Yeah, doesn't it?
Because if the other game was the best action game, then wouldn't that be?
I think, but you total up all the categories. Like if Doom had better action, but not as good story and characters and gameplay or some whatever, but then Overwatch had like everything else good and just kind of was a little bit lower in the action, it would still overall total best game.
Yeah, but like what's exactly the measuring stick that you're using? Like what
how much money the company gives me?
There you go. That sounds about right.
A winner was announced for Best Fan-Made Creation just the following day it was made. I don't know why. Skyrim Enderall was the winner of Best Fan-Made Creation.
Was it?
That's what, according to an article on Kotaku, says.
I'm confused about this fan-made category because don't most fan-made games get a cease and desist?
Most of them do.
How do you actually have a fan game category?
That's why I thought the category itself was kind of
ridiculous.
Two of the games that had been subsequently removed did have C&Ds that were filed against them. I'm pretty sure that Bethesda wouldn't put a clamp down on that because they encourage modding in their community. So, it really was Nintendo that was bent out of shape about that. And, so they announced it the next day so that they didn't have to address it at all as a part of the show. Yeah. That's shitty.
Just more that
that's shitty. That's
shady.
Isn't that shady?
Yep.
It does seem a little shady, but that is weird just in general not to address it, considering like Jeff Keighley has no problem throwing shots at Konami all over the place. He doesn't want to address it.
You know why? Because it's safe to throw shots at Konami.
Now it's safe.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing it last year, was he? Sure, wasn't.
No, he threw.
I think he kind of was. Yeah,
he did. He threw. He was throwing shade at Konami.
He did last year, and he totally did this year.
But again, Konami's being vilified right now. That's a very populist statement to make.
It's like saying I hate Nazis. Yeah. You're probably not going to.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
No one's going to get mad at you for saying that.
True.
Like,
True.
And Konami has murdered a whole bunch of Jews recently, so I guess that makes sense. I can see the parallel.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's
their
true.
Entire company. So
I don't know if that's true, Callie. I think Trump supporters might take some issue with that.
Oh. Okay.
The alt-right are very in support of Konami at the moment.
Right? Yeah. That whole.
Them and all their young gooses.
Why would the young goose be?
Because they look like Trump.
I didn't even notice. That's so true.
Heil Konami, apparently.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Okay.
Let us wait for Konami to send us like a defamation lawsuit.
Oh, please.
Why would Konami do that? Why would Konami send us a defamation lawsuit when all we're doing is calling them and comparing them to Nazis?
Konami is alt-right.
That is the elected government of our fucking country right now.
Jesus.
Just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
They should be more mad about us calling them bothering their customer service line.
I mean, honestly, in all actuality, we'd probably get shut down by Trumpola over there before we got shut down by Konami.
You're not wrong.
Just saying.
Okay, well, that was enlightening.
Can we talk about Death Stranding now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about Death Stranding, please.
The fact that Kojima was actually there and how many times Jeff Keighley said, Kojima's actually here this year, guys.
First of all...
And they brought him out on stage, like, right away. Because they were like,
very first
trust
thing.
me. Yeah.
He's real. They pinch his cheek and everything.
And his English is actually very good.
It is very good.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Let's talk about the trailer. I wish we could play the trailer because...
Not as creepy and mind-fucky as the first one was.
I don't know, man. It was pretty creepy.
It was definitely creepy.
The first one.
The first one was just Norman Reedus laying on a beach with dead fish and oils and like invisible baby handprints.
Babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
What
weird.
was cool about this trailer is, I guess afterwards on social media, Kojima had encouraged people to look deeper for, clues and hidden meanings and stuff like that. And someone took both the trailers, put them side to side, and played them next to each other. When Del Toro's, the likeness of his character in the second trailer, picks up that jar and it lights up to show the baby inside, that is the exact instant that it disappears from Norman Reedus in the first trailer.
Right. As if it's warped.
Oh, wow. How do people figure this shit out? My God.
That's so weird. So now people are speculating that there are like multiple realities.
Yeah.
Here's the question I had. That tank that's rolling across the bridge that had the innards, was that just on the tank, like it had exploded something? Or was that part of the tank?
I think it was part of the tank.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
I think body technology is going to be a really big thing in this, because whenever we see kind of body modded technology in games like Deus Ex, all of those, any person that's not an actual person in Deus Ex looks like a person, right? So you've got that whole thing of do the traditional concepts of morality apply to these things that aren't actually people,
right?
Whereas in this, I think that there's going to be a much more emphasis on the body horror aspect of organic technology, and I think that that's cool. That's such a cool theme to explore, and I hope that Guillermo del Toro is still attached to it. I mean,
I don't see why he wouldn't be.
Right.
I mean, everyone said that this is screaming him.
Oh, in fact, yeah, he was actually one of the ones that recently, I think right after the GMAs, tweeted "fuck Konami."
He sure did.
Yeah.
Really?
He sure did. Hashtag fuck Konami.
That's super rude.
That's funny. Do we know what kind of genre this game's going to be?
Mindfuck?
I mean,
that's a genre.
You saw the trailer, right?
I don't think you can define
Yeah, but there was no
this.
gameplay.
No, there's not any gameplay, so nobody has any idea.
I think Penny Arcade had it best when they had mentioned how they're like, don't you realize that Kojima leaving Konami, they kept him in check. Now it's balls to the walls.
Yeah.
Sony are just letting him do whatever he wants, and we're going to be marrying dolphin penises.
Nika, let me ask you, if this is a horror game, will you play it?
Because hang on. When Silent Hills was still a thing, right?
When Silent Hills was announced, I was not having anything to do with that.
Really? That was a Kojima game that you would refuse to play.
I mean, I would probably watch someone play the beginning and then make my judgment, but I wouldn't just jump headfirst into it. And I don't know. I can't do horror.
You never tried PT, huh?
But no.
PT was spooky.
Physical.
But if this is like mind fuck type of thriller, I can deal with that. But if it's flat out horror, no.
I mean, there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on in the trailer. It's kind of pointless to look at because it may as well be a Salvador Dali painting.
Oh, gosh.
It's so bizarre. None of it means anything.
What?
I mean, it all means stuff, but I mean, none of it is we can point to it and be like, well, that's going to be an aspect of gameplay. It'd be
True.
pointless.
This one seems less weird than the first one. The first one to me was just some crazy giant metaphor. This one actually shows, a bridge with troops and weird tentacle tanks going across it. He has the baby in like the life jar or whatever, and then we see in the tunnel, in the sewer system, these guys that look like they're infected with something. They have like oil or some black stuff coming out of their eyes, and
that was creepy.
Yeah, like some cords coming from like he controls them, and then like the oil and stuff vanish. And that dude, is he made, or is he the likeness of someone too? Because he looks super familiar.
I did not recognize him, but if somebody wants to throw that up in the chat.
Yeah, the guy with the what was it, like white blondish hair?
Yeah.
He had the black
at the very
stuff.
end. Yeah,
at the very
He
end.
probably is, but
Yeah, he looked like he reminded me of someone, but I couldn't quite place it right away.
Yeah.
I bet the game is going to be a 4-person co-op survival game where you have to shoot crystal zombies.
When's that coming out? Anybody?
No.
I don't know what the new Konami game is.
And that's why
nobody gives a shit.
That's why Kojima's so mad at Konami for making it. They stole his idea. That's what the actual beef is over.
There you go.
What if
Mads Mikkelsen.
What if
Is it?
It did look like Mads Mikkelsen.
What? Did someone say that?
Yeah, someone said that.
That might be who that is. Hold on, let me.
What?
Yeah, bring it up.
I'm looking.
Actually, I feel like I saw
That kinda
Stephanie
does look like
Houston
him.
tweet that. That seems right to me.
Yes, he was recently in one of the Bond movies,
He was in
wasn't he?
Doctor Strange.
Oh my God, he was! He was that guy.
Yeah, he was out doing Doctor Strange.
He was a bad guy in Doctor Strange.
He was.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yes, that's
It
where
is
I saw
him.
this before. Stephanie
sure
Houston,
is him.
who played Quiet. She tweeted Mads Mikkelsen looked amazing in it.
Yep.
Well, okay. All
yeah.
right. There you go.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you, Chad. Yeah. I mean,
Lion MX particular. Thank you, Lion.
all of that. Anything that we would say about it would just be speculation at this point. But looks really good. I mean, very intriguing. Kojima knows how to sell a game. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah.
He knows how to sell.
He has, yes, always known how to do that.
He really does. Like, if even going back to Metal Gear Solid 2 and the switcheroo that he had played with Raiden. I mean, the guy knows how to promote a game and make decisions that stick with you, that keep people talking for years afterwards. People still talk about the Raiden switch over. I mean, it was a big deal. People fucking remembered that. And Kojima, it seems to me, has always been obsessed with making a memorable experience. Not the most satisfying game, not the most fan servicey game, but the one that stays with you the longest.
Yeah.
But it had Raiden running around naked. I mean, come on.
Was Raiden a girl?
No.
What?
He had to run around grabbing his crotch so that it wouldn't show on the screen as you dodged past enemies and did flippy cart.
But that's not necessarily the thing everyone remembers. The thing that
That's what I remember.
the thing that everyone remembers is playing through the tanker chapter and then being saddled with Raiden afterwards. Because for a lot of people, they checked out. They were like, fuck this. I don't want to play as this whiny little faggot. Huh?
But Pliskin.
Yeah, I know.
Snake Pliskin.
Some people didn't even get that far. They slipped on bird poop
That's
and said,
true.
fuck this shit.
That's
And
true.
it was their loss.
They really were.
It was.
Yeah. But and to that point, Nika, you will never, ever forget killing all of those people in your base, were you?
Don't remind me.
You'll never forget it. It's one of those moments that you will never
Every time someone
forget.
brings that up to me, I no.
I really need to play that game just so I can know all the names. And like one day, like when Nika's least expecting,
They're
I'll start-
random. They're randomly
Oh,
generated.
Yeah, I mean, it's random in everyone's
different.
game, so it's like
Yeah.
the people that you recruited specifically.
it's
'cause,
literally.
See, I'd like to start texting her the names just one at a time because at first she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I'm glad I wasn't on stream for that, so you can't go back and see who mine were.
Anyway, all right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it from the Game Awards, though.
Cool. So real quick.
Wait! No, you forgot about Mass Effect Andromeda.
Did they show anything?
They did. They showed gameplay.
Oh,
Did they really? I did not see
Callow,
this.
did you see
How
it?
is it?
I
No.
didn't see it.
No,
You
I didn't realize.
I thought I wanted to talk with you about it. No, it actually looks pretty solid. I saw my Facebook kind of blowing up with it. They showed a little bit of like the moves and like the Ravager. What is it? Ravager? The like shooting, the ones you zoom forward and.
Does it look like? Is it new? Is it reminiscent of the old stuff?
I mean, it feels very Mass Effecty to me.
Is it
was the
four-player
very
co-op?
last thing that they played at the Game Awards.
That's cool.
I don't know. I was significantly hyped. My Facebook feed was significantly hyped. I would like Callow for you to go watch it.
I've got it. I've got it on right here. He's watching it right now.
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't even necessarily have to be exactly what it was, so long as it still has that,
it seemed
that feel to it.
Like the premise of it seems a little bit different than the original Mass Effect. Like your goal is to find a new home.
Right? Yeah. I got that much. I'm actually.
It's you. The gameplay looked really cool. Although I will say, if that is the main character as a female, right? Is that who that chick is?
No, we're still watching.
We're kind of in the middle of it.
This is something we'll obviously get to later, but something that I've realized going into 15, the combat obviously doesn't feel anything like Final Fantasy, but I still really like it.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Right. So now I think being able to take that into Mass Effect, that really the controls or the mechanics themselves don't have to be the same so long as something overall, so long as it feels like a Mass Effect game. And everything that we've seen so
the
far
combat in the trailer looked similar to how it was before.
Krogan.
Yeah, but I will say that if that is the main character, her voice acting is nowhere near as good as Jennifer Hale's. But I mean, Jennifer Hale.
Come on,
Jennifer.
I'm sure.
Right.
Well, I mean, this has got to be like alpha footage or beta.
Oh, I'm
footage,
sure.
You know?
I was gonna say, yeah, like running around in this town, whatever. That's pretty standard Mass Effect.
Can you play as an
this
Elcor?
looks like.
But that in particular was never really something that was unique to Mass Effect itself.
Can you play as an Elcor?
They actually mentioned that some of the original races from ME 1 through 3 wouldn't be making appearances. I know that I've
happen.
Here's the thing. I know that I've seen Solarians. We know there's an Asari, there's a Krogan, there's a Turian. So it must be some of the ancillary ones like Elcor or.
No, is that because we're just in a different part of the universe, or is that because it's so far in the future they've gone extinct?
I think it's just because we're in different parts of the universe. And then what were the little mole people called? Valcor. Volus. Yeah.
Volus, yeah, that's what
So, honestly, the Elcor, the Volus, and the Hanar are the only other species that I can really think of that
This one does not want the Hanar to go away.
Or the Drell, I suppose. Although we've only ever seen, 2 Drell?
What are the robots?
Geth. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see any of them either.
We probably, especially because, the people who picked the Destroy ending before, there are no Geth. But then again, this is so far in the future that an AI is probably remade.
Right. Without knowing much about Mass Effect.
Here's some combat right here.
Yeah, if you were to mismatch this in with the other Mass Effect stuff and show somebody who had no idea what the game was, I don't think they would realize that they were necessarily different games. So yeah, this all looks pretty similar to what.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool to me.
What I would expect. So granted that, the narrative is as good as it was in the original trilogy, yeah, this game should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're learning from, because Mass Effect is still one of my favorite series of all time, but obviously, I have a few complaints about the storytelling going through the series. So I'm hoping that they learn from those mistakes and put that into the solid foundation they already have. This could be an amazing game.
Do you know, is this the exact same development team that worked on the original trilogy, or is this a whole new?
No.
I don't actually know.
Because they've lost people over the years, EA buying them out, so I don't think it is.
Yeah, but a lot of times it's like if someone
the core team,
the creative.
I know that it's not the same director. What was her name? Something Casey, I think, was like the main director through 1, 2, and 3. I know that she left for good. What I'm most looking forward to is they said the way that you develop relationships with your teammate and other characters doesn't it works in a whole new way. And the way that it worked in the other games was basically you would pick one person and kind of just be locked to them. You would obviously make the right binary choices and you would end up with that person. They said the way that you develop relationships in this is going to be very non-linear, and it's going to work in a way that is much more organic. And I think that's something that I... Oh my God!
What?
That guy just got eaten.
The fucking Rancor just tore him in
that's
half.
Game over.
That was crazy.
Holy cow.
That was a really creepy death. Yes.
That was awesome.
So yeah, no, this is looking really, really good.
I know. I was really hyped for.
Do we actually do they have an actual release date yet, or is it still?
It said spring.
That's actually sooner than I thought.
Wow. Yeah, watch the end of the trailer. It just says spring 2017. I'm like, I don't think we knew spring before.
No,
we didn't know that.
We were thinking late 2017.
Correct me if I'm wrong when it gets to the end, but I'm pretty sure it said spring.
Yeah, I would have thought fourth quarter 2017.
Yeah. Yeah, spring 2017.
Holy cow.
To me.
Wow.
So how much you want to bet there will be a delay on it?
Yeah, that's
There's a delay on everything.
I don't know. BioWare's usually pretty good about not delaying stuff, right?
Well, because EA forces them to put it out.
Yeah, could be. But here's the other thing, too. If it's coming out in spring, I think that's safe to say that the strike probably didn't affect it.
I would think
if it's based on when contracts were made.
Right.
Not just like a straight up, all right, that's it. Today we're stopping all work.
Right. Yeah, I would assume it's probably fine. They probably had their voice actors under contract a while ago.
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, Nika.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so a new round of Overwatch bans have gone out.
There's more news? Jesus.
Yeah, man. And these ones are nailing players using cheats and hacks that their makers boasted as being untraceable. While it's unknown how these programs were found, the crying from those affected by the bans is predictably delicious.
Womp womp.
I like the idea.
Why would you ever think it was untraceable? Like, come on. They know about it.
Who believes that shit?
I like the idea of making like a cheat and then saying that it's untraceable when I know full well it's traceable.
Someone on their forum I know threatened to like sue Blizzard over. I'm like, oh my god, that's wonderful.
You were cheating in their game.
Yeah,
Like,
you're an
come on
idiot.
now.
What a dumb moron.
So it's no surprise. Everyone knows that Final Fantasy 15 has finally launched this week, and there is news aplenty.
Wait, this is a real game? It exists, guys?
It does exist.
Yeah, there was a recent Final Fantasy game.
It came out. It's unbelievable. Jones Soda is teaming up with Square-Enix to create a 15-flavored themed soda. The orange and cream soda titled Whizz's Energizing Elixir can be had free by anyone providing a proof of purchase for the game, and $2.99 for anyone else. On sale at Target. If you like Jones Soda, check it out.
Is it on sale already?
Yeah, I believe so.
I need to go and get a couple bottles to put next to my Nuka-Cola Quantum that Kuka sent me.
Yeah, exactly the same idea. SE ran a launch event for the game in Japan that words can do no justice. Suffice it to say, it winds up with Noctis showing down with the company CEO Yosuke Matsuda.
That's pretty funny, I gotta say.
That is awesome.
It's this long, not long, but it's a sequence that they created where Noctis is going around doing random stuff, and then the final encounter is him and the company's CEO, like, in the game, like, actually trying to launch.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's very, very Japan.
Meta.
Yeah.
I mean, I love how they make fun of themselves so much, too. About some of that stuff. Like, wasn't it in like one of the Deus Ex games there was like an Easter egg on the wall that's like Final Fantasy 15 coming 2020?
No, I don't think it was 15. It was some like crazy number in like the 30s, and I think that the main character makes a comment about how they're still making those games.
Okay.
There was something like that.
Yeah.
Like they make some kind of silly comment.
Yep. No, the two cosplayers they had as Noctis and Luna Freya though, spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, look just like them.
She's super hot.
And on the note of the game's launch, it surpassed 5 million units sold on day one, making it the fastest selling launch in franchise history.
Really?
In
that franchise?
It sure is.
Wow.
Well, people have been waiting. How?
10 years?
Not even 10 years for 15, but how long has it been since, what was it, 13 came out?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, so that actually doesn't surprise me. Hype or not, whether you were looking forward to it or not, I mean...
You're just glad it's out
Me and
now.
you know, we're very cynical about it, and we still bought it.
Yeah.
But fun story, they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 at the same time. We still don't have that one.
You're not
It's all
wrong.
right. We have Kingdom Hearts 2.1, 2.12, 2.2, 2.35.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Probably 7 more
It
that are
just
going to be coming out.
It needs to stop. The Kingdom Hearts shit.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts is good, though.
I really liked 1 and 2.
Yeah, but after three, they've got to wrap the whole thing up. It's just got to be done.
No, I agree with you. I think that they should definitely wrap up the story after this. But the Kingdom Hearts series is good.
Nika, do you even remember the post-credit scene from Kingdom Hearts 2?
I only remember the one from Dream Drop Distance because that leads directly into KH3. I don't remember the one at the end.
Exactly. Exactly. That thing might as well have been lost to time now, but it was so freaking cool, and now I don't give a shit about it.
There you
go. No, it was the one where Kyrie gets the flower keyblade, wasn't it?
No.
Who cares?
Or that was the end of Dream Drop Distance.
God damn it.
No, I don't remember.
Can we talk about this game that
Let's
came out?
talk about Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So for more information on the news and other stories, visit our blog at finalencountercast.com.
Thank you, Callie. All right, let's talk about FF15. If you want to get in on this conversation, Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764 to call the show. Like Philip did. Philip, let's talk to Philip real quick.
We don't have him.
Oh, god damn you.
Well, he's going to talk about the Nintendo classics.
Right. If we're gonna get derailed off of this shit, then we might as well do it now.
Right at the cuff? Okay, well, I'm going to try to get a hold of it.
Well, then forget it. You fucked this up.
You fucked it up.
I fucked it up.
Philip, we're sorry.
He fucked this up for you, buddy.
Philip, sorry, dude.
There's next week.
I feel bad for Philip now.
I do too.
I feel bad.
To be fair,
don't bother getting him on now.
You're no Christ of mine.
That's right.
He called during LBR too.
He's been on hold this whole time, and
Oh my
you still
God.
fuck it up.
You're the worst. You couldn't even get him on the post show or something? Jesus.
No, he was on
we talked to him on LBR.
Oh wait, we talked to him on LBR, and he wanted to call here too.
Yeah.
Wow, Philip, double dipping.
Okay, well, he's on now.
No, it's fine.
No.
We're good.
All right, sorry, Philip. We're canning.
Philip fucked it up. Or no. Christ fucked it up. Philip, you got fucked because
Blame
of Christ.
Christ.
Yeah. It's Christ's fault.
Oh God.
Anyway, all right, let's talk about FF15.
Where do we even start with this thing? I mean, honestly,
the
it's so
fact that
massive.
it's awesome.
No, that's not where you start.
I told you.
What?
When we start the Final Fantasy 15 conversation, I told you what she would say, and
Well,
she did it.
Okay, well,
What?
Nika is the predictable.
Yes, she is.
So
Yeah, then I would say it was awesome. Of course, everybody's saying it's awesome.
I don't know.
No,
if
he said
everybody's
you were
saying
gonna talk over the buddy.
it. Yeah, you were just gonna jump right in and just fangirl all over the place.
Yep, all over, everywhere.
gross. Keep that shit in your pants. Look. Okay, so FF15. Now, first of all, I gotta put this out there that I'm only about 5 hours in. I've only completed about the first chapter, so I'm not terribly far. I have not played as much of it as you guys have. You guys are way
Callie
farther.
beat it.
Yeah,
let's start there. What have we all done so far?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I've cleared it. I did most all the side
That
quests
seems
except
insane.
hunts.
That seems insane.
Well, I knew there was gonna be no time to play this week, so if it didn't get done last week, I was gonna be waiting a month.
And you, how much time did you put into it?
I cleared in about 51 hours.
And you mentioned that you did actually do quite a bit of the side story stuff, but you did skip a bunch of hunts.
I skipped a bunch of the hunts. I didn't like finish grinding up fishing. I didn't finish grinding out all the character skills and stuff like that. I did do a lot of the side story or quests though.
Okay. Nika, how far are you?
I just started chapter 4.
Okay.
But my hours are all skewed because there are a few times I fell asleep playing it and also left it on during one of my raid times by accident. So it says I'm at like 29 or 30 hours, but I'm really probably more like 24, 25.
Okay.
Nero?
Like I said, I'm only 5
hours into it.
Yeah, my work schedule has been brutal this week. So.
I'm looking at somewhere between 25 and 30 hours. I just cleared chapter 5. So that's where I'm sitting. And
Okay.
Juxta, how far are you?
I just got through the little ice place. I caught this like little death the death skull
Juxta,
guy.
Juxta, that's the wrong game.
It was pretty easy. I had to cast Oblivion on him through an item, which I bought from Chocolate. Which
it's the wrong Final Fantasy game. The other one.
What?
With the car.
I didn't see any cars.
No, the 5 guys. Noctis.
4 guys.
4 guys.
I want to go to 5 guys now.
I want to go to 5 guys. I'm hungry.
How long did you spend playing that one?
Yeah.
The one with the long patch.
Final Fantasy 15.
The one with Sydney. She has the tits.
Oh,
Fishing
Tits McGee.
fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tits
her
McGee.
thong's showing.
Oh, about 3 hours.
No. Less.
Yeah, 3 hours.
No, it was
maybe
less
it was
than
like
that.
4 hours.
It was less than that.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
It definitely felt like 3 or 4
Your
hours.
timer didn't even hit 1 hour.
What?
Oh.
You were about 57 minutes, and I'd say about 5 of those was on the save screen. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've played about an hour then. A little bit more because of the tutorial.
I don't think so, because I know how long the load screens are on that, and that
Yeah,
counts towards your
seriously.
playtime.
You didn't even make it to Long the Way.
You didn't make the long wide?
No.
don't know what
He
that
did
is.
the first camping thing. He went and killed the dual horn.
Okay.
If I save Dave, good old
He
Dave.
saved Dave.
Dave is safe, and
Oh,
Dave has given me quite the reward.
Yeah.
As soon as you think the side quests are over, there comes good old Dave.
Yeah. So basically, he got back to Hammerhead and he called it a night.
Wow.
He really
Nailed
liked
it.
the opening sequence with the Stand By Me, which I thought was
This
great.
is
Oh, that
this
was
is
wonderful.
this is the dumb motherfucker who plugged how many hours into 13?
I don't know. I beat it though.
Wait.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Nobody got to the end of 13. You may have been
tried
the only
3
person.
times.
I cleared 13.
I like 13.
Fuck off.
I rage quit that game.
Most people did clear 13. They just weren't happy about it, and the ending just made them more mad.
You could beat
The ending was
13 if
disappointing.
you weren't a terrible idiot. So
The ending was over in 5
It's
minutes.
not, dude, it's not about being able to beat it. It's about tapping out on it after a certain point.
Now,
Most people tapped out on it and just did not bother to beat it. That's different.
I like
That's
the
different.
combat in 13.
So, guys, take
What the
with a
hell
grain
the-
of salt anything that Chris says.
Literally.
always
Until the
do.
end of this episode.
Literally everything.
We always do.
So,
Can I just give like my opinion real quick? I thought it's
because you have the least valid of any of ours.
Just get it out of the way and then mute his mic.
There you go.
Not because you've played the least of the game, but just because your opinions are less valid than ours. Just saying.
All opinions are valid.
No, they're not.
Hurry up.
I like the combat in the game, but in the hour that I played of it, I fought maybe like 2 or 3 things, and I feel like it's just doesn't. Like, I want to actually play the game, but like the story and open worldness just gets in the way of that.
There's a lot of empty space in 15, and I don't know if that is something that gets adjusted later on in the game, but just in the opening maybe 5 hours, I gotta actually side with Christ on this one. That
things we thought we'd never hear.
Let me ask you: have you got to Gildan Key yet?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
It gets a little bit better.
A lot of the empty space is actually filled with items, though. If you go exploring it,
not
like there's
that much.
like every time I see like a little nook on the map, I'm like, there's going to be an item down there, so I'm going to run down there. And sure enough, there's always
but the
is.
items aren't usually anything that's terribly great.
Yeah, but the thing
stuff
that
to sell, Gil is hard to come by in this game.
The thing that I'm thinking of is like, dude, it's been 45 minutes since the last time I fought anything.
Yeah,
and I'm running to the next thing.
After you trigger a certain event, there are events that'll happen when you're out on the map randomly.
Okay.
But you're still not wrong. There are some times where I'll go a minute and like I won't have anything to fight. I actually find myself being like, ooh, did I see something over there? Let me go initiate that fight because it's been a minute. But then there are other times where it's like, oh, I'm getting attacked. All right, cool. Let me call my chocobo, and I'm getting right back off to fight these things. So it kind of comes and goes.
Like I feel like the pacing is weird. Like,
would you say better or worse than random encounters though?
And the pacing does normalize after, I would say, chapter 3.
Pisses me off.
You also get an item later. I haven't used it yet, but you get something called a beast whistle that literally summons enemies
I just
to you.
got that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
didn't mind random battles.
I don't either necessarily.
I was watching you play a little bit, Robbie, so I have a little bit more context in just an hour. And like you were going through a dungeon, and I didn't see you fight a single thing in there.
To be fair, you also came after I cleared most of it, so...
Was there even a boss in there?
There wasn't a boss in that one. There was like the next one that I did, there was like, I wouldn't call it a boss, but it was still like a bigger encounter. But usually after you go through and clear it, you know, when you're running back out, yeah, you're probably not going to get attacked by anything because you've cleared it out.
Well, you usually don't run back out. You can just warp back to the
It's true, but there's always that other path that I'm like, no, I got to go see that path.
True.
And then it's just that giant fucking door that you can't unlock right now. And now I don't have the warp out option. I have to run out
still
anyway.
do. No, you can go to your map screen and you can warp out from
can
there.
I?
Yep.
Motherfucker.
You can always return to the beginning of the dungeon.
Good job, dumbass.
So, what do you guys think of the car? I mean, the car is a huge theme.
Regalia.
A huge theme throughout the entirety of the game, it seems like. And, you know, like, I feel like the car was added because forcing the player to walk these huge spaces, these huge tracks, would have been unrealistic. It would have been too time consuming. So it feels like it was added as a concession.
Or like an afterthought?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I like it most of the time because there's always like character banter. You can listen to fun music. There's always like, I don't know, or sometimes they'll ask you questions and like prompt you will say, who should I take pictures of and whatever. So like most of the time I enjoy the car, but there are those periods of time where you're driving for 4 minutes and they say nothing. And then you're like, what is the point of doing this?
I'm gonna actually agree with Nika. I don't think that was put as an afterthought. You know, since before we could play it, we've been looking at this as sort of like that road trip type movie.
Like the car, it's centered around the car. I wouldn't think it was an afterthought.
Yes, and actually the car plays a pretty, I don't want to say a pivotal role, but it doesn't feel like an afterthought to me. There's lots of collectibles that go into the car. You can customize it. Right.
I have a sweet bomb flame on the side of mine.
I haven't got the bomb flame yet. But yeah, you can do all kinds of customizations. You have all these different soundtracks you can listen to. Fast traveling on it is something you can do. So if you want to just skip over the whole car thing,
yeah, but like when you do manually take control, all you got to do is hold down R2.
That is it.
That's fucking annoying.
You can crash it.
Okay,
no,
but
you
to be
can't.
fair,
I know that, but.
I complained about that at first, but then Surin was like, let's be real though. If driving was annoying, people would be bitching about just how bad the driving was, and that would be the only thing you'd hear.
So why make driving annoying?
Yeah, driving doesn't have to be annoying.
Driving has been the only mechanic of certain games for a long time.
Those games are really boring.
Gran Turismo. I mean, it's not like it's a complicated mechanic to be able to pull off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing that annoyed me was that you don't really drive it so much as you engage autopilot.
But you also have to turn which way it's going to turn. You can choose where to park and stuff.
Big deal. You kind of just point in the direction and it'll go that way.
Right.
If you can't off-road with the car, what's the point?
I think
that's really what it is.
What it comes down to.
Yeah, they I mean, yes, you can crash the car, but you can't. You're right. You can't take it off road. You basically can't take it out of the designated areas that Square Enix has said this is okay. And you know why? They didn't want to program the damage in. They didn't want to program all of the different shit that you have to program in for your terrain to make it traversable by vehicle. Grand Theft Auto does it. Grand Theft Auto does it, and I'm sure that it's a very time-consuming and complicated process.
But Grand Theft Auto doesn't have like random enemies that would come up and attack you. I feel like if you're driving through the field in a car and monsters come after you, it's a little strange. So they make you park the car so that you have to actually run and then engage in combat that way.
I think they do have that.
It's when you're on your chocobo. That's
what
the chocobo's for.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of immersion, okay? I think that they say, look, these characters wouldn't take their vehicle off-road, right? So instead of having to deal with all the consequences or whatever for doing that...
It's just justified that way.
Yeah, you can't do it. That's not what it's about. And if that was an actual meaningful decision they made, as dumb as it is, I can live with that.
Fine. That's fine.
And if you, like I say, if you could take your car off road, there would be no point to having a chocobo in that game. Like that's what it's there for. Is to, like you use your car to get as close as you can to an area, and then you chocobo from there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not even the one driving, like it almost feels like it's like a 4-minute cutscene that you're just sitting there watching, where coincidentally none of the characters are talking to each other. So
Very rarely.
It just makes it makes it a bit of a slog.
I call those bathroom breaks and snack breaks.
Well, no, like you can fast travel through those.
You can, but if you fast travel, you can't build AP. There's a certain talent you can get in the Ascension system
I have that, and it's
every like 1.3 miles you get an AP.
Which is awesome. And
it's worth it if you get an early game. Yeah.
I let Ignis drive though, and then whenever I see like a treasure point off to the side, I just hit park and we get out and get the treasure and then get back in the car. So I still use it as like a faster way to explore.
Man, you don't go anywhere. You must take forever to get from A to B.
Just wait till the Imperials impound your car. Then we'll see who suddenly misses the regalia and who doesn't.
So okay, let's talk about some of the voice acting, because I think that overall the voice acting was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints.
I don't have many complaints. I do have a few lines that I question.
Yeah. Sultry?
Yes, thank you.
Is that the one?
Quite sultry.
Seems rather sultry.
Oh my god, that makes no sense.
What are you talking?
Just like,
what exactly are you talking about? You need it when you say that. You need to be talking about a thing, right? Like, what is the thing that you're talking about? What is sultry? Is it me? Is it you? Is it the fucking car? What is it?
Chocobo.
At first, I only ever heard him say that in Lestalem when you're like in the marketplace and it has like the cool music. So I was like, okay, the atmosphere feels kind of sultry. But then he said it like out in the mountain, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
The first time
are you hot? Maybe you should take off your jacket.
The first time he said that was in Hammerhead, like right at the beginning of the game.
Yes.
And I sat there like, do I need to go watch like Kingsglaive? Do they have an alternate meaning for the word sultry in this world that I don't know?
That's literally what I thought.
Pause. It says right here on Merriam-Webster.com, sultry of the era weather hot and humid.
Wait, sultry means it's hot and humid out?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, what?
That's not how it's used in common vernacular.
Every time?
Huh. All right, well, fair enough.
Fuck us.
That is the number one definition too. That's not the number two.
You uncultured heathens.
The more you know.
Oh, wow.
I'd say that's more uneducated.
Unredignified.
Fair enough. I'll rescind that complaint.
All right. It's weird.
It's just a weird choice of word when they could have used so many other choices.
It's like when they say, would that I could join you or something like that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to voice acting, the voice acting itself, no problems with it. I know a lot of people get annoyed with Cindy's voice acting, but I think it's more more her accent than anything else.
Yeah, because it's not an actual Southern person. It's what it sounds like anyway, is a person who's not have a Southern accent pretending to have
affecting the Southern accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
When in reality it would have been just as easy to find somebody who has a fucking Southern accent.
Yeah. For me, the biggest problem when it comes to voice acting is, and this is going to seem really weird at first, but the lack of. All right? Think about games like Dragon Age or Mass Effect, where you have teammates and that you're often out exploring.
Okay.
And there's constantly dialogue going on between them, right?
Right.
You have huge chunks of game where you're, driving from one place or another, or where you're running around out in the mountains, and the gist of what we get is them commenting on the fucking weather.
It is sultry out.
They do comment on the weather a lot.
But it's always just like these little one-line things, right? Sure is hot out here. Yep.
And how many times? I mean, in
how
the
lazy does that seem? Yeah,
in the 5 hours, in the 5 hours that I've played, I've heard these comments enough to be a fucking punchline.
Yes, okay, and yet they spent and Nika, look, I liked the movie. It was a good movie. Okay, Kingsglaive was good, right?
Oh, good.
But had they taken the money and the resources that they used on Kingsglaive, do you not think they could have put that time and effort into adding more dialogue, more voice acting, and filling with all those things? That's the reason that I hate all this ancillary media beforehand, because it does affect the game. But if you do it afterwards, that's cool, because then I know it's not affecting the game, it's not bringing anything down, and at that point it's just filling in more blanks.
Well, one of the things that I that I had kind of thought to myself as I'm playing through it is that the Kingsglaive scenes that they added to it, I'm trying to imagine the progression of the story without those things, right? And I'm like, why did they have to add these?
They didn't have to.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I actually think that, they're kind of unnecessary.
Yep. I actually thought it did take away because, I think the biggest part, the reason that they have Kingsglaive is that this story is legitimately just told from Noctis's point of view.
Right.
If Noctis doesn't know something, you don't know something.
Right.
So it was really weird that they added that Kingsglaive scene with the king, because then you're like, but Noctis doesn't actually know this, so now you know something he doesn't know, and there's this disconnect for a minute until he learns. It's weird.
And what they showed in the scenes aside, right? Again, I'm gonna bash the film for what they said that it was supposed to be, which is this companion piece, how it sets the scene.
Right.
It didn't do anything. Everything that we needed to know as Noctis was in that newspaper headline that Lucio inevitably brings to you. Yeah. And when it comes to stuff from the movie you need to know, maybe stuff about the wall, the crystal, and the ring, but all that stuff could easily be explained in the game.
I think the one thing that I've noticed that is helped the context is the ring. They have mentioned the ring. They haven't really said too much about it in the game. They could have said more about it in the game.
Yeah.
But as of where I am right now, the only thing I'm glad that I know from Kingsglaive is what Luna is doing when they're like, oh, she could be somewhere, maybe she's alive. So the fact that I know kind of what Luna is doing and what the ring is where I'm okay, I'm glad I saw Kingsglaive. Otherwise, it's all the main characters in Kingsglaive die.
Everybody dies. It's a Game of Thrones episode.
So they don't actually matter in the context of FF15. Yeah. So then it's the movie's great. You're right, it is a great movie. I loved it so much, but there isn't that much connection.
Yeah, I came out of 15 feeling like that was a full, easy to comprehend story. I don't feel like I was missing anything going in, which was that was going to be my concern with the ancillary material, is that do I need that to understand the game? Because if that's the case, then that's poor storytelling. But I didn't feel that way at all. I came out of it thinking oh no, I get what happened.
Yeah,
it's
and
great.
So far the majority of my complaints are actually with the narrative in these weird small disconnects here and there. It's not terrible, all right, but it's just all these little things are starting to kind of keep me from getting into it.
To be fair, if you're not completely done with the narrative, that's also kind of a tough position to hold.
It is, yes.
Because part of what 15 actually does very well is that it has this non-linear, disjointed story that it's telling. I mean, right from the get-go, one of the opening scenes is within the city destroyed, and
in years in the future.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And it rewinds the clock. I mean,
when I told Jux about that, because I'm Kingsglaive doesn't even happen beforehand. Technically, because of those 30 seconds, though, I guess it kind of does. But then it goes back in time. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. Just fuck you. Like, those 30 seconds were irrelevant. Now, if that
But
is
they're
something...
going to be, though. Like, that's the thing, is that if later on inside the narrative, inside the arc of the story, it is justified, then you know what? That's not a complaint that you can hold.
No, you're right. And my opinions have been vastly changing as I've been playing through it. And if this whole idea of this disjointed narrative is actually written in there as like this kind of staple, or like the idea that Kojima, fucked up the end of Metal Gear to make you feel lost. Like, if it's that sort of thing, yes, I can accept it.
Sure.
And I also am aware that the fact that I put 25 hours into it and maybe only 5 of it was spent with the story, that's going to make it feel a little disjointed too, because I'm doing all this ancillary stuff on the side. Then I kind of jump in. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Why haven't they told me anything yet? It's been so long. Like, I understand that there's some weirdness to it. So obviously, I do realize by the end of the game, my opinion might change. But there's even been a few instances with the way that they've treated two characters interacting with each other that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, there's a character that's cool and calm and collected this whole time, and then he snaps for some reason, and then goes back to being okay and calm and cool, and just the whole thing was just so fucking awkward that I'm like, what did I miss?
There's like, my only complaint about the storytelling, I guess, is like, I don't want to say inconsistent tone of it, but I mean, like, let's be real, Noctis should be in a complete like sense of like mourning and loss right now, right?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you see is like him and Prompto smiling in a selfie.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah,
yes. I absolutely love the picture aspect. I think it's hilarious, and I live for those selfies because they're so funny. I share all of them on Facebook.
Oh,
but,
we know.
We noticed.
We know.
But like, it does feel a little bit, the tone feels different when I mean, like, especially when Noctis has that moment, like either right at the end of chapter 2, the beginning of chapter 3, when he's like, and he like freaks out about what the hell's going on, and then all of a sudden you see like smile. Like, wait a sec. Like,
well, I've already experienced a little bit of that with the events that happen at the close of chapter 1, where you're prevented from taking the ferry, right? So that happens, and you would think that Noctis should be in some kind of grief, that would be the driving emotion behind him. But yet you take your character and camp in the very next moment, and they're like all like, what a like there should be some kind of variable depending on where you are in the story that Noctis should be reacting to in those scenes.
Can I promise they'll play with that theme eventually? I promise.
You know what?
No,
actually,
I believe you, but I feel like how hard would it be to at least like every time you camp between this chapter and this chapter, Noctis is just like over in the corner while the other guys are trying to, just something, just a little thing.
Do you guys get the impression that he likes his dad an awful lot at this point?
Well, hold on, because actually you guys are kind of touching on some real things with me that I've experienced, and something similar to this. I was actually struggling with Noctis as a character for a similar reason. He's essentially been made king now, right? Yes. And he doesn't really seem to care.
Reluctant leader
really
is
king though, because the Empire has taken over his kingdom, so technically he's been pronounced dead.
Right, but in the line of succession, like the way that the blood works, like, now you're,
he should be king.
He has a lot of weight on his shoulders, and
the people that are sort of like that, they have this underground railroad that you're going through.
Right,
they're treating you very much as the heir apparent.
Right, and so my problem was that he just seems very like that sort of, I don't want to say emo kid, but just very kind of like you're in that stage of teenager. We don't really care about anything. Like, I really get that vibe from him, and it wasn't until just now that you guys kind of start mentioning that why isn't he grieving, that I think that might be him grieving, just completely blocking everything out because he's not there. He doesn't have to deal with it yet.
He hasn't actually seen the
right now. Callie says that later he probably does deal with it, obviously. But for right now, the way that he kind of acts is like he's just shutting out and blocking it out, and maybe he's just trying to drown himself in this
friends.
Right, this road trip with his friends. But it would be a nice little touch, you're right, Nika, if during those camp scenes every once in a while that we got a scene where he's off by himself.
It doesn't even have to be every time. Just so that you can see that he's occasionally, it comes into his head and he's like,
there is a scene with Prompto, which Nika, you had mentioned in a chat one time when I was complaining about something, where Noctis is just like sitting there and Prompto comes up, and I think everyone just assumes, this is the scene about Prompto. But think to yourself, why was Noctis up there by himself to begin with?
Good point.
So I think that
he needed some air. He walked.
I think that those things are there, but maybe again we haven't been playing it enough to sort of see all these things. So
Maybe.
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm taking my current score back up to a 7.
And I have no doubt that despite as much as I played, even like there's probably like a bunch of camp cutscenes that I missed.
Oh my god!
There's probably
yeah,
so
like,
much
I realized
that I missed.
like resting at the motels rather than camps too gives you like different conversations that
You
just
get
pop up in
different-
cutscenes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That kind of dynamic storytelling is really fascinating, and I have to give Square Enix a lot of credit because I don't think that many development houses would be able to pull off that feat. That's very impressive right there.
So would you say that Square Enix is doing a pretty good job at subtle storytelling?
You can shut the fuck up. You don't get to ask questions or comment.
Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe
You don't get to hold an opinion.
Maybe Square Enix is a lot better at making games than everyone gave them credit for.
If our audience is to be believed, because you haven't plugged as much time as we have into it,
Oh, that's
you
fair.
don't get to hold an opinion.
Look,
Mr. 5 hours over there, that box is pretty thin you're standing on.
Hey, you know what? I'm just saying.
Something that I think we should have said at the beginning, okay? Because a lot of people want to know exactly what we think of it. I think it's a good game, right? Despite all my reservations, this is a good game. And my question was never whether this was going to be a terrible game or not. I knew that it was at least going to be worth playing. For me, it was always, will this stand up to what Final Fantasies have always been about? That I'm not going to answer. I think I can't answer until I've beaten it and had some time to reflect on it. Something to keep in mind, too, is Silite plays Final Fantasy VII once a year, sometimes more. She's beaten it over 50 times, and she still finds things in it that she's never realized before.
This
right?
game will do that.
Yes. So there's still obviously lots and lots and lots of shit that we're gonna discover in this game and stuff like that. But so far for me, the storytelling is where it's a little shaky. But you're right. I mean, some of my best or favorite films. Nate, you ever seen Lucky Number 11?
Yeah. That's a great movie.
Chris hates that movie.
I love that.
Because he had no idea what was going on until the end.
Oh, well, but that's the whole...
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the point.
The first time you go through it, you're not going to know.
Yes, and you know what? Now, sort of giving... I think I have to give Square Enix more of a benefit of the doubt when it comes to this, that some of this stuff could play out differently.
Look, I'm just saying... Look,
okay, Square Enix. I'm giving you a little bit more slack.
Let me say this, because I think that I enjoy stories where I don't fully maybe understand the whole scope of everything until right at the very end.
Or until a certain point.
You're going to love this narrative.
Interesting. It's interesting that you say that. I'm now that
you
really
do not understand the scope of what's going on at all.
Okay, good. That's good news, because
I'm glad that
yeah, me too. I like when stories do this.
Has Arden been confusing you? He confused me forever.
You know what? You haven't met him yet. Well, you kind of have. But I kind of looked at him as like, these road trip movies always have like the crazy, creepy uncle.
It's got that
Uncle
character,
Buck.
It's got that character that spikes the main character's drink and gives him acid at some point.
My first thing I thought when I saw it was like, are you going to be my cousin Eddie?
Yes.
Like, is that what I'm about to deal with for the rest of this game?
Oh my God, if they had brought in Dennis Quaid and modeled him.
His insane, like, wild North Dakota man look.
You would have. Well, that's the thing is that you.
Randy Quaid, yeah, Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid, thank you.
Yeah, Juxta.
You would have had to. You would have had to inject him with some kind of, narcotic to be able to get him into the booth, because that guy is paranoid as fuck.
All right, so story, we thought a little bit suspect, but you know what? Willing to give it a deeper shot now, okay? Because that was honestly my biggest concern.
Fair enough.
Was that you talked about a little on the outline that you wanted to, like most Final Fantasies, you want to expand into something bigger.
Well, I mean, most Final Fantasies do that without you even realizing it. I mean, you look at FF6 and it was about this war, then the next thing you know, a clown has ended the world. FF7, you're just a terrorist group, trying to save this town, and now you're saving the world. FF8,
you end up traveling to the future to fight a
tiny little rebellion that means nothing, and now you're trying to save all time.
I kind of like that it's almost reversed though. Like it's so open world now, and then all of a sudden your future is going to be forced into this one direction, and I think it's kind of cool to see it in a different.
Well, yeah, I was just waiting for that moment where we realize that this world or this story isn't what we thought it was. Like, yeah, okay, fine. Trying to ascend back to your throne is a pretty big deal, but FF has always been about more grand, like
grandeur,
higher stakes.
Right,
Like
you're
on a
way
world
higher
scale.
stakes.
you're going
nowhere.
Your party is going to face God.
Yeah. So that
What? I'm sorry?
Like you basically turn around at some point, and your characters think, "How the fuck did we get here?"
Right.
So if that's coming, okay, fine.
All right.
And I think that's just, again, an illusion of the fact that I've spent almost 30 hours playing it and done next to nothing story-wise, so maybe that's just...
Well, and I think a lot of that is the way that it feels that way is because you're doing so much of the open world stuff. They can't have those monumental shifts in the story happen during the open world sequences without basically taking away sections of the map. They have to wait until you get towards that more linear track to end the story.
And
that's fair enough.
You know what? That I think I understand that in terms of the way that you would end up programming for that, because I mean, you have a lot of variables in the way that the first couple of chapters can play out. And then when you start whittling away and wanting to tell that story, because I mean, we all know from playing other open world games, whether they be Assassin's Creed or whether they be Skyrim, that the way that the narrative unfolds depends solely on the way that you end up playing. And so to do that, if you have a story that you need to tell, that becomes more different or more difficult the more variables you add in.
Still not letting Square-Enix off the hook for some things that I think they flat out...
Kid, you aren't allowed to have an opinion because you don't raid. I mean, you don't play Final Fantasy 15.
Thank you for that.
Okay, that was funny.
Thanks, Mr. Jack.
A little late, but thank you. That I think the staples of open world games should have had. Like, for example, more dialogue happening in the car, more dialogue happening out and about, right? Like,
sure.
I'm sorry, 10 years, a movie, an anime, a radio play, there's no excuse that shouldn't have been in the game, okay?
How much dialogue does a Fallout
I agree, but
4
this is also their first foray.
Right?
Exactly.
There's so much dialogue in some of these other games, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they should have had it.
Yep.
I'm not
This is also
forgiving
their
them that.
first foray into open world.
I don't care. They should have had it. All right? They should have. One other small nitpicky thing. Tell me if you
Especially
guys
after
noticed
10
this.
years.
Tell me if you guys noticed this. When your car drives up to a new outpost, right? Noctis opens the back door, steps out. Ignis opens the front door, steps out. Ignis shuts the door. You can walk around. Perfectly seamless, right?
Yeah.
When you're playing the game, I want you to stop and get out halfway through your trip. Because Noctis opens the door, it fades to black, and then it fades back up with you standing outside your car. Why?
I never actually noticed that because I stopped.
It does it. Oh my god, it pisses me off so much because it's not like you just didn't bother to animate it. You have that animation, and it's just, again, it's such a tiny, small thing. But why did you miss that?
And now you can never
all the
unsee.
time.
No,
because of the
yeah, when you
present
see that, oh my god,
Now
you
I'm
will
not-
never be
now
able
it's
to
gonna bother
unsee that.
me.
It absolutely will. You're welcome. Oh my
Thank
god,
you.
I
I
hate
never
it
noticed
so
it my
much.
whole way through the game. What I do, like talking about the scenes where they're in stations and they get out of the car. I love this is such a small thing. They are so awkward getting out of the car, and yes, thank you, because everyone in the world looks awkward getting out of a car.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate it in Grand Theft Auto when you get in and out of the car and you look like you're like a fucking Bond villain or something like that. You look a badass. No, everyone in the world gets out of a car awkwardly.
I wish that
So
every
do
once in
they.
a while you just jump over the door. That'd be cool.
That'd be
I
cool.
mean, it is a convertible. I don't know why they don't do that.
Can we talk a little bit about the actual mechanics to the game? Because honestly, I think this is where
combat
Final
system is
Fantasy
so good.
15 shines.
Okay, sure.
All right. I've always been a steadfast defender of turn-based combat, right? And honestly, even when you look at 12 and 13, they were still pretty true to the idea of ATB gauges. It wasn't true turn-based like 10 was.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're still being turn-based, right? So the idea that they were taking it out of this game, it didn't sit right with me.
Sure.
But honestly, the combat is so fun. It actually feels very tactical.
And it's not super easy.
No, the combat isn't necessarily easy. The difficulty is easy, but actually mastering the combat, yeah, I think is actually
easy to
pretty
pick up,
hard.
difficult to master.
There you go.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I'm really bad at blocking. But I think it's part of the fact that both block, roll, and phase are all mapped to square.
Yeah, it's
So, like,
it's interesting.
I try to block and I roll out of the way. I'm like, wait, that's no.
One of the reasons that I was never a fan of 12 and 13 was because you didn't have control of your other characters. Or yeah, you can give them gambits or tell them what to do, but you're not really in control of your characters.
Sure.
And that's true for this too, but I feel like they do a lot better job with making it feel like you're working together with your characters. One of the main
You know what they do like make you feel like you're working together, but they also don't give you the illusion that you're trying to control them. The other 12 and 13 gave you that like the illusion that like, hey, you're controlling everything, and that just makes you feel, no, I'm not.
But at
This
least
game they
in
say you
12
control Noctis. That's what you control.
You could actually swap to the other characters in 12 and play them, though, if you wanted to.
That's true.
Like, 13's problem was that there would be bosses that had conal AoEs. Your other character would run in front of the cone, and you could do nothing to move him.
Yep.
Like, there was no chance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was the issue with
Yeah, so one of the main mechanics in this is something called blindside. If you attack something from behind, you do extra damage.
Right.
And if your people are near you, they'll like join in and you'll do like a sort of
Like a
combo
link.
attack. Yes. Like, for example,
skill chain.
This is my favorite one. If you're using the pole arm, Gladios, who's the big dude, will grab you, who then has your pole arm, and stab you into the monster.
I don't know if I've noticed that one.
Yes,
you can get
he totally does that.
Which is stupid. That would not do more damage. You're still just poking it with the spear.
But you're
I like
poking
the-
it
I like the
deeper.
Team
It's
Land
heavier.
ones.
Yeah.
That you do the ones that you do with Ignis when you're both using the pole arm. Those ones are cool.
Where he throws you the
second
pole
pole
arm
arm, you
and
jam
stab
them
them
both.
both.
Yes,
Yeah.
you take both pole arms and you jump and slam down. Hell yeah.
I like the one where you're with Prompto and you have the great sword, and you toss him the great sword, and he like has to use all of his strength to swing it while you shoot his gun at him.
I stopped
So
using the
funny.
great sword, so I've never seen that one.
Yeah, the great sword's way too slow for me.
Oh,
sorry,
but it's
Nero.
so good later on.
Or if you parry an attack, so every once in a while, it'll pop up being like hold down square button, it'll set you up for a parry. If you do that, then you do a link attack, which is essentially the same thing as the blind side, but it's just called something.
And there's different animations for
It's a link when your partners join you.
Right.
Does anyone else just really hate the fact that you're supposed to hold the button to attack? Like what?
You can
I
just
still
press
can't
it
get
if you
over
want to.
I just
Wait,
mashed the fuck out of it.
I mashed it.
To
the whole game.
attack.
hold it? I don't
And-
hold
and
You
to
don't
block.
actually have to press it. If you just hold down the circle
hate that.
button, he'll just keep on attacking.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
I
if
didn't
you
know that.
hold down square, you'll just keep on dodging.
Yeah.
You don't
I hate
have to
that.
press it at the right time. You can just hold it down.
That's a baby's way of playing.
Now hold on though,
I
because
find that very hard to believe because I've tried that and I just get smashed in the face.
Yep.
So
Where the skill comes from it is being able to switch between the two. Because if you just hold it down the whole time, they're going to hit you. Or if you just hold down circle all the time to attack, you're going to get hit. If you hold down square all the time, well then you're not going to be attacking anything because you're just going to keep dodging.
And you still can get hit even while holding square. Don't kid
There's
yourself.
probably like a cooldown. or something.
No, it's depending on the attacks that are happening.
okay.
and if there's multiple things attacking you at once,
Yeah,
like,
you can still get
I
hit.
found that it's more effective to just try and push square when you want to dodge.
Well, especially because with the circle button, if you aim the analog stick in a different direction, he'll do a different move. So I'll purposefully like push backward when I have the pole arm, and then hit circle because he'll jump back and it'll zoom forward, which I love doing. That.
That's a good move, yeah.
All that is, Nika, if you actually did the tutorial, if you hold down circle, as you push the L stick, it adjusts the combo's direction. So you shouldn't have to stop pressing circle to do that.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I didn't know you could hold it down.
Yep.
Yeah, I just mashed circle.
Warp striking, I think, is phenomenally fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's very. I feel like the lock-on targeting system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
needs a little
finicky.
work.
Very
Yeah,
finicky.
it's very finicky.
It needs a lot
The
of
fact
work.
that you can so easily accidentally switch your target,
Yep.
and at the same time when you want to, it feels freaking impossible.
Yeah.
Or like if
Yeah.
I want, like if I'm out of MP and I want to go to a warp point to regen my MP, and like I have it targeted and then it just switches, or I'll just zoom into nothing.
No, Nika, I can fix that for you. To get to the warp point, you hold triangle.
Yep.
No, I know that, but
Yeah,
like
I
even
never-
still, if it missed targets, it'll just zoom me straight forward into nothing.
Oh yeah, I've never had that happen. The first
You're probably just
hour
tapping.
of battle, I didn't realize you had to hold to go to the warp point, so I'd like be targeting them and hit triangle, and I'd warp somewhere else. I'm like, fuck! Why won't you go up there?
That's why.
Yes, what Mr.
Yeah.
Jack just said, that's my problem, is that there is no option to change the lock onto a toggle rather than holding it
that'd
down.
be so much fun.
Yes. No, I agree.
hold on,
I
there-
totally.
I actually went to
there
my
is.
options the very first time I started
Guys,
and tried to change it.
There
Couldn't
is.
find it.
If you press the L stick and L1 at the same time, you will hard lock onto a target. You then don't have to hold it anymore.
Really?
Yes, if you press L1, it will then
Did you guys not
unlock.
do the tutorial?
Yeah, did you not hang out?
I
with
did the tutorial.
Did you not
on
hang
stream.
out with Dick Nugget? He explains all this stuff. That was his name, right?
Yeah,
I did the tutorial and it did not say that.
It
It totally says that, Nico.
Who got their Carbuncle renamed, by the way?
I never played the demo, so.
Oh, okay.
But he never comes back that I'm aware of.
From what
Does
I've read up
Carbuncle
on
ever come back?
Apparently, Carbuncle does two things. One is if you're in easy mode, he calls and gives you tips.
Yeah, I remember that.
Who plays
Two
in
is that
easy mode?
apparently apparently he can show up as an astral projection in the back of photographs sometimes.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
But I've never seen that happen.
I have.
Yeah, but
now I have
there's
seen
no
the
way to
astral
know
projection
that his
thing
name
happen,
is
just
Dick
not with him.
Nugget when that happens.
Unless one of the characters is like, oh, that's Dick Nugget.
Yeah.
But also, like, mine said it. Okay, first of all, I named my Carbuncle. Like, I didn't name him anything. And then when I started up the game, it's like, your Carbuncle's name was inappropriate. We have changed it to Carbuncle.
And yet
like,
mine.
That's what I named him.
And yet mine's name was Dick Nugget, and it was just like, yep, it's Dick Nugget.
Well, you know what it is? It's because they don't have a copyright on Dick Nugget, so you're free to use that.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
The HP system, I actually really like.
Yeah.
The way
Max HP and
right. So if you
HP.
fall to 0, you're not just dead. You now enter this danger status, and your HP starts to fall down.
I like
Your
that
max
too.
HP goes down.
When Earthbound did it first.
Yeah, and if you then res them or heal them or whatever, their max HP is wherever it had fell to.
Oh, okay. I get you.
I do think that's a really cool mechanic.
There is
Except that Prompto dies every 5 seconds.
Oh god, yeah, that's never going to change. By the way,
there is a huge discrepancy in combat difficulty. Have you guys noticed this too? Like, I was able to take on a level. I'm level 37. I was able to take on a level like 52.
Yes.
Dual horn. No problem. Super fun.
Yeah.
And then if you go to do like a hunt and it's 2 levels below you, those fuckers are hard as shit.
2 levels
Hunts
above
are
you.
yeah,
hard.
it definitely kind of feels like the old FF11 thing. Like the first of all, the family of the mob matters. A level 10 rabbit is very different than a level 10 leech, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, corals are some of the hardest enemies in the game, and anything flying, fuck that. Flying enemies are the worst. There's a hunt that you get eventually, it's like in level 40s range, where it is 3 flying enemies, and it is a nightmare.
Corals have AoE Blaster, which instantly put you into danger, and then I swear to God, they have like danger touch too. Like just one hit and you're in danger all of a sudden.
Yeah, you're gonna want to
They
use
sound dangerous.
Yes, they're very dangerous.
Would they be part of the danger zone?
They would be part of the danger zone. Yes.
You're the worst.
You're making a Nero leave now.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
that was pretty awful.
No. Let's be clear. It is my bladder that is making me.
Oh, all right,
okay.
fair enough.
Oh.
Nika, how much do you use magic? Because apparently Callie went through the entire game without using any magic.
Yeah, I used 2 spells total and got mad when I nuked my own party twice.
But what happens if you run
use
out?
magic
What if
right
you need it later?
now. What?
What if you need it later?
Shut up, Juxta. Continue, Nika.
I was like, wait, someone's talking. It's Juxta. Okay. I use magic right now only when it's my favorite thing ever. I always will prep a Thundara, and I wait for the Imperials to come out of their ship.
XP drop
and as soon as
ships.
they jump out, I throw a Thundara and
Thank
one-shot
you.
all of them.
Thank you.
It is my favorite
Yes.
thing ever.
Callie never did
I
that.
laugh my ass off every time I do it.
Yeah, see, Callie said he was talking to Popsicle, and he's like, "Oh, the Imperial drop ships are so annoying." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? You mean the the XP ships?
XP pinatas?
They're just delivering experience
put on
to
an item
you.
that, like one of those coins that ups your XP and just blast them.
Better than that, if you use the magic or reflex boosters that they drop, you can get Quint cast Aga spells.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you get to those corals, if you can't beat them by any other means, Quint cast Blizzaga them into oblivion.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it through the whole game without really using magic.
They are a little bit annoying though. There was one point where I was fighting like some snakes for a hunt or something, and then it turned to nighttime and an Iron Giant spawned in, and Surin's like, "It's okay, you got this." And then while I was switching to go fight the Iron Giant, the Imperials dropped on me. I'm like, nope.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Straight up, that'll be happening, and you'll just see you'll see that message you don't want to see. Think those Imperials just want to say hi? Oh god! I'm sure they do.
I'm pretty sure that's happened to everybody.
Mute Juxta. That was horrible.
You guys are so late on the donations today. I think everyone's gonna have that moment though, because I was fighting some gorillas, and then some of the venom hides showed up. I'm like, all right, no problem, I got this. The venom hides don't do a lot of damage, and then something was shooting me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and 2 platoons of Imperials had dropped in, and I tried to just like throw a Fira at them to try and take them out. It didn't work. It just burned my own guys. I ended up not even bothering fixing up my guys. I'm like, fine, just stay dead. I'll do this myself.
My favorite moment so far in the game, I was doing a storyline quest, and while I was there, an Iron Giant spawned out of the ground, and I'm like level 28, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm taking this Iron Giant down. So I finish killing the storyline enemies, and I start going to work on the Iron Giant, and I eventually get him down a bunch of link strikes and all that stuff, blindside attacks, and finally I get him down, and I'm like, yes! I am king of the night. This is amazing. And immediately, another portal opens up, and a bigger Iron Giant comes out with a flaming sword this time, and he's 12 levels higher. And the game's like, fuck you, it's nighttime, go to bed.
They do that.
Oh god! I
If
didn't
you
know that
kill a regular Iron Giant, a red giant can spawn and come fuck your shit up.
Oh, man.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you think you're awesome now, but
There's-
just wait.
There's lots of nice surprises in this. It may not right now seem like the perfect game, but I've still been telling people, you know what? If you've been on the fence, you should still buy it.
It's so worth it.
It's still worth playing, even if it doesn't end up being, in your top 1, 2, or 3. It'll at least be in your top 15. I promise you that.
Okay, all right,
all right. Here, my standard that I was setting down for where I was going to stand with this game was it has to be better than at least 2 Squaresoft Final Fantasy games. If it is better than at least 2, and by extension all the Square Enix ones, then I will call it a good game and say, good job, Square Enix, you made a worthwhile game.
Well, I'm willing to call it a good game.
In your opinion,
but-
since you've beaten it, does it fit that mold?
I like it better than 2, 3, 4, 7, and 10. Now, I know, of course, 7 will be very divisive. Everyone likes 7. I hate it, but
7 and 10 are my favorite.
I like it more than 10.
Wait, last I knew, you didn't even beat 7.
I've now beaten 7. It's fine.
Kelly is sitting in his chair looking so smug because he has seen the outstanding story and he knows that everyone will be deep throating Square Enix
50
huge girthy length after they finish. Love you guys. Love the show. FEC Army. FFXVHYYYPPPP.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Magic hits party members. But I can't whack Prompto in the back of the head with my great sword! Exclamation mark. Fuck that Noyez.
He just gets mad and tells you to watch where you're going.
Thank you, Thor, for the $50. By the way, that was very generous.
That was very kind.
Yeah.
Gladio has hit me with his sword and put me into danger before.
Wait, can they?
Yeah, oh yeah, they can hit you.
He
They're pretty
jumped
careful
over
about it.
something, landed on me, and put me into danger.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Also,
That's kind of badass.
Can we agree that Prompto needs to come out of the closet?
I mean,
no comment.
He likes Cindy.
I think that's a smoke screen.
That's a beard.
Okay.
That's his beard.
Hold on. There is absolutely no evidence to point that he is just gay. I say he's bi.
Okay,
He might
fine.
be bi.
Fine. All I know is that he wants Gladiolus. He wants him. Every time without fail, he is always in half of the pictures. I will start keeping documented records if I have to. But even when I think, oh, that's an awesome shot of the fucking bombs. Like those are. Oh no, it's a picture of Gladius. There he is.
In
the
my
back,
game,
behind that bush.
Oh my god!
Damn it, Prompto.
In my game, he wants Ignis. He is so into Ignis in my
It's very even
game.
in my game between all the guys.
Nope, Gladius
It's
every
very
single
even.
time. Even if I tell him, hey, take more pictures of Ignis. All right, he takes more pictures of Ignis. Still Gladius though. There's one picture of what looks like Gladius about to give it to Noctis up the butt.
He is.
Yep.
I got a picture of Ignis checking out my ass. I didn't.
I got one of Noctis pointing at Ignis's dick. He's just like, hey!
My friend
kinda
got
funny.
one of there's those big that's not. You think it's just Cindy?
He didn't say anything about Iris.
Well, that's weird,
because
dude.
that's
That's your
Gladio's
friend's
sister.
little sister.
Well,
the other girls that you'll meet, he is into. I thought he did have a
I don't
comment
know.
about
I don't-
Iris too.
I think if he's gay for anyone, it would be Noctis though. I don't know why it would be.
Oh, it's
Gladio.
definitely Noctis. Oh no, it's Noctis.
Gladius. He needs somebody to keep him warm at night with those big muscles.
He might be
Okay.
into Gladio, but the crush is Noctis.
All right, let's go to our phone lines and talk to Ryoku, who's hanging on. Want to talk about a little FF15. What's going on, Ryoku?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh,
good. Glad to hear from you.
Good. For some reason, I was picturing Ryuichi. I'm like, I really hope he wrote his points down today. What's up, Ryoku?
And not too much. Spent like about an hour or so playing the most important thing in the game, which was getting the high score in Monster Justice.
Monster Justice 5! The soundtrack for that game is phenomenal.
It's like who cares about saving the world when you got to get them high scores?
You got to play pinball, man.
Yep.
That's what's important.
Okay, I want to ask how much of you guys actually played that?
None.
I played for like 10 minutes where I was like, this actually isn't going to stop. This is going to keep going.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes not knowing how to play and not losing. And I'm just like, all right, fuck this.
I played it one time until I lost all 4 characters. So I actually got to like level 40 something.
Wow.
I don't know. And then it quit, and then it gave me like a ruby bangle or bracelet or something. I was like, okay, that was
You get an item from it?
Oh yeah. If you get a high enough score, you get a better item.
Oh, I
But the
got a
thing
bronze
is, it took
trophy,
me
that
like
was
an
it.
hour before I lost all 4 characters.
Yeah.
Because every time I would get really low on health, it would like give me a health boost. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, Ruby Bracelet, that's a item you can equip almost to the end of the game. Wow. That's pretty good.
It was something, I don't know what it was. It was some kind of accessory, either a ruby bangle or it was something, some kind of bracelet.
Huh.
But I don't know.
But yeah, that really surprised me because I'm not that far into the game actually, but I got to the second rest point and I'm like, oh hey, there's this pinball machine. I wonder if you can click on it. It's like, oh my god, you can actually click on it. And it is a mini game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who needs Gwent when we could have Monster Justice 5?
Gwent is way better.
I want Monster Justice 1.
Yeah, I want to know
the
what
original.
happened in 1 through 4.
I got to. Yeah, exactly.
The pinball story.
Yeah, the pinball story.
That's right. There's a narrative, right?
Retro is
you gotta become the pinball wizard.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
come on, there's
all
got
the
to be a
characters
twist.
in the pinball game actually have like a backstory.
They do.
Oh, sort of. They're like they're very specific types of like superheroes, and you're like trying to save whatever. There's
That are
actually
based
a
on
mini
monster
story to it.
designs,
Wow.
I think. Yeah. You know Square-Enix.
Yeah.
That's true.
Did anyone actually download the mobile version of it and play on their phone before?
There's
the
a
game came out?
fucking mobile version of it?
Monster Justice?
That's what they announced at that FF15 reveal event. That Justice Monsters 5 or whatever was a mobile game.
I
that was
don't remember that
compatible.
shit.
I do, yeah.
And there's King's Knight too, right? King's Knight's also playable somewhere. They talk about that in the game too.
Oh my god.
You know, I don't think you're going to play it. They just joke about it. He's like, I'm going to go play for King's Knight.
Yeah. When you take down Behemoth, Prompto will go, oh my god, this is just like in King's Knight. And then, at least in mine, Gladio made a comment like, yeah, and you're just as useless.
I love their banter.
It is. No, their banter when it happens is really good.
It was really dark, and Prompto just goes, illuminate! He's like, Noctis is just like, you're such a nerd.
It does sort of hit on that whole like male friendship sort of
like
bond
buddy thing. Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad they did that right, because a lot of people were bitching, like me included at first, about how there were no female characters in the party. And I know that is kind of a weird thing, considering all Final Fantasy games have always had at least a few female characters to offset that dynamic.
If you really think about it, the first one and the third one were technically all male characters, and then Final Fantasy X-2 was
yeah. The first one you could say is
the
generic.
first one they could easily be either gender for the most part.
Yeah.
But
and then
like,
you have,
did you just assume those characters' genders, bro?
But in this one, so at first I was like, but the fact, I think they did it right. I mean, I'm not a guy, so I don't know what guy road trips would be like, but I feel like I'm getting a different feel of the characters than if, you know, that there was a female in their car and they were going on a trip. I feel like they would interact differently.
There is a scene in this game where you have Iris in the car, and they're all different. They all behave differently when she's in the car.
I'm actually looking forward to that. It's funny.
It's awesome.
But I think more than the fact that there isn't any women is the fact that this is the first Final Fantasy where your party never changes. You don't get to pick who's there and who's not there.
Yeah, that's true.
Which
13-2.
Go away.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, which kind of bothered me because I'm like, come on, that's like.
Well, you didn't even have the traditional Final Fantasy trope of building your party. It is established from the get-go.
Exactly.
Final Fantasy 5.
Shut up over there. Will you? Can I use my mute,
No,
Chris? Can I mute Christ? Let there be silence. But I think the reason for it, because that was always one of the things that bothered me about this, but it helps them to craft a much more specific narrative, which that's obviously a conscious choice, so I find it difficult to be mad at them for that. Personally, I'm not a fan of it, but it's working really well.
I'm not. I am so far not a fan of the character design choices. You know, we talked about this a little bit on LDR, but you know, the fact that this game took 10 years to release, it does feel like all of these characters have fashion from like 10 years ago.
Now, there is one moment in I don't know, maybe there's an anime somewhere that explains this better, but they mentioned that what they're wearing was specifically designed for them to look like Crown's Guard attire, and apparently the symbol, which I think is like a skull and crossbones, because it's the only symbol I can see that's on all of them, is a symbol of the Crown's Guard. So I think there were some people in our chat that might have been talking about it in like a military fashion. No, we had that call, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Last episode.
Yeah, but I don't think it's supposed to be like their tactical combat uniform.
No,
it's probably like
it's
their
not.
dress outfits. Or,
yes, I think that instead of having like, you know, how all Marines, you know, have like, you know, what they wear and stuff.
Right.
That instead of it being a specific outfit, that it's more a style.
That is still a strange uniform. I mean,
is.
Seeds had strange uniforms
It
in
is.
8 as well.
Because
so I mean, I guess
it
it's
looked
not.
like a uniform. This does look like they went to Hot Topic and put the logo
yes,
on
it does.
Exactly.
Sure does.
Yeah.
It does. But if you look at their casual outfits, which are all still terrible, those are actually more varied between the three of them.
And there's so much
I only
worse.
looked at Noctis's and thought it was extremely gaudy, and I took it off
No,
instantly.
Ignis looks like he's from the fucking mafia, dude.
I haven't
His
looked
with
at
the
those. I
pinstripe
should
suit
check.
and the
Yeah.
suspenders, his looks really cool.
No. The two of them I actually keep and they altered.
It was probably Ignis and Gladio, because
Yes.
his actually didn't look too bad either.
Yeah, you're right.
And,
No, but Noctis's looks.
Prompto
oh my
still
god,
looks like a tool.
Oh my god.
It does bother me, though, that they make the outfits seem like such a big thing, but there aren't actually any more outfits.
Right. That's actually something I was looking forward to,
bothers
was
me.
buying more outfits for them. I
Sure.
thought that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping the DLC comes along with more, but I feel like also the fact that the outfits actually have bonuses, I'm like, do I really want to take this off just for aesthetic purposes? Because I lose HP if I take it off.
I do. I actually have them so that they do the most damage.
Yeah, I took off his jacket so that I could get him to deal more damage. Because that's all I wanted to do all the time was like, can I hit harder? Yeah. That's all I care about.
Christ, can we unmute you
I really
yet?
want them to.
Are we good? Okay. Are you going to use it responsibly?
Do I ever?
No.
Okay.
Your question's answered.
Okay. I really want them to wear the outfit that I find most aesthetically pleasing, however, but that I can't because of the status boost on it, which is also kind of strange. I kind of wish that they had just put a bunch of outfits in and then they not even dealt with the stat bonuses and just put a bunch of outfits so we can just glamour, because that would be fun. But
it's the real end game, guys.
The real end game is your car glamour, okay?
There you go. There you go.
Right now I have a chocobo on the side, a cactar on the top, and then the Moogle on the other side. And it's lime.
I just
and
got
it's
the
lime green.
bomb flame because that's all I've really found. But I've been buying some more things because at first I didn't have a lot of gil. I think that was my first complaint, is that gil was really hard to come by, and I was saving my treasures because I was like, well,
Crucify him. Crucify him.
Whoa.
Crucify him.
Jeez.
Wow.
Who is that from?
They want us to crucify you.
Sebo Kevo. Jeez.
Wow.
Wow.
That's intense.
By the way, one of the songs on the FF11 soundtrack you can buy is Gustaberg.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm all
I
for
was
it.
just
the
riding.
FF14 one is fail though.
Oh yeah. it's
Yeah,
really
there's
bad.
not, and
There's
it's
two
really
FF14
weird.
ones, and they're bad. They only have 2 of the primal songs. They don't even have any of the main themes.
Yeah.
But like when you're doing that, it's all about getting the PS1 era soundtracks. Like that's what it's about. You're riding around and like the Ragnarok theme starts playing, or something from the battle music from FF9 starts
I
playing.
freaked out when the FF9 battle music started.
So
Like
good.
there was something there. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, it's the fucking FF9 battle music. And then I got attacked by a Coeurl. It was like a double psych.
I know what I was saying. Is that like the thing is that all the things that actually you can sell for a lot of gil can actually be used to augment your magic. And I'm like, and
That's
I'm
nice,
the kind of
though.
person. I'm the kind of person that I'm always like, what if I want to use this? Should I sell it? Should I save
Exactly.
it? So like I hoard my treasures, and then I have no guilt.
And even worse than that is some of those end up being quest turn-in items. So if you already have them, you don't have to go farm.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that they put that in there because it actually makes you make a decision. Do I keep this or do I sell this?
When you think about the amount of micromanaging that normally comes along with a Final Fantasy game, they've minimized it to a great degree. You're not really swapping, I mean, weapons, yes, but you're not really swapping gear sections. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
One of the biggest decisions I made early on was whether or not to use the inn at Golden Key because it's 10K, but you get
It's
double.
5K for me.
But you get double experience.
Yeah.
So like I saved up like 20K experience and went and stayed there and got like 7 levels in one go.
I stayed there 3 times, and every time I stayed there, I had over 50k XP saved
How
up.
do you get that much money?
Well,
this must have been later in the game, right?
If you have DLC, it's half the price.
Yeah, it's only $5K for me to stay there.
What DLC? They have DLC out already?
No, like the collector's edition or the deluxe edition DLC. It comes with the quote unquote travel pack, which makes all hotel stays half price, all gas fill-ups half price.
That's why that was.
And
I could
all
not figure out why.
fast travel half price.
I couldn't figure out why I had everything out for half off.
Not
pay to win, Nika.
Not that most of that is very expensive anyway. Refilling is 10
No, it's
gil.
not.
Fast
But it's
travel
really
is
just
10 gil.
at the beginning of the game, though, staying in a trailer for 15 gil instead of 30 was a big deal.
Yeah. No.
But the hotels being cheaper is really
The
awesome.
only reason that matters in the slightest is Golden Key's state being 5K instead of 10K.
I agree.
That's sweet because you can get great XP doing that. But
Ryoko, thanks for the call. We appreciate hearing from you as always. We got one more caller to get to. Let's talk to Dark Flux. What's going on, Dark Flux? What?
You didn't take Ryoko off the call.
I totally did.
Well, just now.
I don't have that ability.
I heard that hesitation in there.
Well, you didn't
totally did.
Outro him.
Yeah,
he's still on the call until.
I said
he
thanks
said
for the call.
Thank you for the call, Ryoko,
And now you're
and then
bringing
pulled it
Dark
down.
Flux in. You're like, all right.
So you didn't give him time to call someone else.
Yeah. Okay. Which he's
now you can talk to him.
He's on the line, by the way.
Oh my God, Chris!
I love how he gets defensive about the shitty job that he does here.
Oh my God! You know what? You can handle all the calls and engineering and stuff.
I did on this show
It's
before
not easy,
you.
Is it?
Chris,
fucking shitting me?
You aren't even contributing anything to today's show. At least you could focus on doing the calls right.
I was doing the calls right. I was waiting for Nate to say goodbye to Ryoko like a gracious host.
Really, I heard him say goodbye.
Yeah, and then he's like, all right, now let's go to Dark Flux.
Okay.
Well, Kookie's not giving me the call sign yet.
Oh, now he's blaming on Kookie.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. I see how this is working.
Can we please talk to Dark Flux?
Hey, Dark Flux, what's going on?
Hey, guys.
Thanks for calling the show. We
Don't
appreciate
mind
it.
our parental spat here.
We apologize for Chris's misgivings.
Yeah, he's an idiot. What's up?
Oh, I just just been on the Final Fantasy 15 train, and I just wanted to talk about some of the glitches and bugs.
Sure.
What have you experienced?
If you guys got any funny stories?
I do, but I have to. Okay, I'll have to get through this without doing any spoilers. At the very end of the game, there I was noticing the PS4, I think, starting to actually show its age a little bit. It started chugging.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I was maybe wonder what the game will look like on PS4.5. I'm very curious. But anyway.
People have said quite a bit better.
I'll bet. So demons were beginning to spawn, and I was hearing their sound effect, and then they were just suddenly appearing on the screen rather than coming up out of the ground. I'm like, what's going on here?
A little immersive braking.
A little bit, yeah.
PS4 limitations.
I think the PS on the Neo, I don't think that would happen. It didn't feel like a programming issue. It felt like the hardware chugging.
My fan goes berserk.
Oh yeah.
I have not. Do you have a disc copy or did you download it?
Disc copy.
Yeah. See, I downloaded it and it's
Why?
not. Because I don't do disc copies anymore.
But they're discs.
With certain games, I feel like I have to own them, though. The Final Fantasy series, I have to own it.
Yeah, this is one I just want on the shelf.
And Pokemon.
I was gonna say,
I'm
Nate,
fine.
you have all the games out there, and this is gonna be the first disc version that you don't have.
I legitimately do not care at all. Because
But how do you not care?
Because if I had the disc copy, I'd have to pop out FF14 every time I wanted to play FF15.
See, I downloaded 14 on the PlayStation.
Maybe somebody will buy you the copy just to
We've
have.
been over this. We've been over this. What? A physical copy?
Yeah, just to have.
I was going to say, because once you buy a disc copy of 14, you're locked into that forever. You can't buy a digital copy of that anymore.
No. Shit.
Same.
Wow.
Same.
Nope, completely lost.
Nice.
No, we were talking about
job.
glitches. I can say that
glitches. Yes, that's right.
The
Dark
AI
Flux,
has
go ahead.
broken for me a couple times.
The AI?
It's been kind of hilarious. There was an instance at the beginning of the game. I was doing the hunt for the little crabs right there on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
The first one that wrecked my shit.
I think it was Gladio got in danger, and then he just started running away. Like he was running towards the water, and then he just got stuck in a corner, and then the crabs like surrounded him, And then the other two characters decided that they were going to try to save him, but since there was no path to get to him, I think the AI just like snapped, and they just started running off in random directions.
Gladio's like, no, man, I played 11. I know how this goes. No, go ahead, Nika.
I've never actually experienced glitches. Like, the only thing I've had was where, like, Prompto took a picture and Gladio had just stuck his hand through his stomach, so it was kind of, like, poking out in the photo. I shared that one, too. But, like, in terms of glitches, I have a friend who actually, every game she plays so much differently than anyone I know, and she purposefully tries to break the game. So she'll, like, park her car in the middle of the road and wait for people to smash into it. And, like, she comes up with all these glitches. So one time she was, like, running down the street to, like, a diner, and the diner was just on fire.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
On fire, and she just stood there until it just went away.
I've seen the video.
And there was, like, glitches where she's, like, not able to click on anything, and you have to, like, warp away before you can click on stuff. Like, she's found so many bugs, and I'm here, like, I have found zero.
There's the one that I shared with Nika where it shows the four of them on the road. And then a car on the other side just goes past and, like, clips Ignis and just takes Ignis with it. Like, he's just like, there a minute, gone the next.
Stern and I laughed about that for, like, 5 minutes straight. It is a hilarious game.
That's really funny.
The only type of glitches I've seen is occasionally when they do link attacks, like they won't be synced up. So like the one that I mentioned where Gladios picks up Noctis and spears him into the thing.
Sure.
Like you'll see Noctis will be on one side and then Gladios will be on the other side, and Noctis like just grabs at air and looks like he's body slamming something invisible as like Noctis just goes, oh, stabs into the ground.
That's really funny.
I had one where I couldn't interact with anything for a while. Like I had to like return to my last city and like get a load screen before I could interact with anything. And I had one where that red giant popped up with the giant fire sword at night, and he was in my way on the road, but he didn't come attack me. And I ran over to him to say, like, all right, screw it, it's on. And he wouldn't attack. So we just sat there just like beating away at him at like level 30, and he died.
Oh, I had that happen with a Magitech armor that it wouldn't actually start attacking until I was right up underneath it, and it almost wrecked my shit because just like instantly, it just like all these AoEs just started going off at once.
Yeah, this guy, no, we ran right up to him and just started beating on him until he died.
Jeez. Dark Flux, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it. Always fun to talk about glitches and bugs. But yeah, I have not encountered very many myself.
Given the scope of the game and the size of it, I'm very impressed with how few bugs I've come across.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
It's not Bethesda we're dealing with here, guys.
Maybe that's what. Maybe Bethesda's just lowered my bar so much on what's acceptable.
Well, you're not wrong though. When you have variables like that, like it can get kind of wacky.
You always know when you're playing a Bethesda game. You always know.
All right, so I think we're gonna have to put a pin in the FF15 discussion.
Have we gone a little late?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I
don't think anybody's surprised.
Not really.
But the other thing is that we'll, I'm sure, have more to talk about 15 as more of us end up continuing to progress through the game itself. Mm-hmm. So, Callie being the only one who's finished so far, I'm sure we'll have a lot more to say to that as soon as more of us have crossed that goal line, especially because Callie has said things end up changing with the narrative, and that's the thing that I'm looking forward to. So thank you to all of our callers today. We really appreciate it. And before we go, I want to read an email.
I have some Juxta hate mail as well.
Oh, okay.
Juxta hate mail is great.
Let me do the Juxta hate mail first.
Here's the thing. You guys can hear me losing my voice. Mm-hmm. This is the second week that it's happened in a row, and now I'm getting a little worried because I can't account for it. I don't know why it's happening this week, and it's really it is really freaking me out a little bit. So can I ask one of you guys to read the email here?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Do you want to do your email first?
Yeah, let me do this. All right. So this is a conversation I had with a longtime listener of ours who's actually contributed quite a bit to the show, but I'm not going to say his name. I told him to write an email about this because he keeps coming to me to complain about Chris's performance on the show, and he wouldn't. Christ's performance on the show. And he wouldn't write the email, so I'm just going to read the conversation we had. So he writes me, he goes, wanting to wring your roommate's neck. Lol, why now? I'm going to start a count of genuine contributions to trolling comments. Oh, so just him being himself. Then I'm going to give you guys the stats of how often he takes the thrust of the point that was being made before it's lost to just yell at him for contributing nothing. Call me old.
That's contributing.
But I want opinions, not someone inciting the drop in general IQ. that often needs to be explained because even he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I.e.,
that is true.
I.e., his Bobby Fischer incident. So this is why I tell him to write an email. And he goes, in fact, I counted 2 genuine contributions and 18 trolls.
Wow.
18, Robbie! 18!
That's a new record for me.
So I'm like, write an email. What, you want me to should I come up with a good troll idea that I can teach him a lesson? I mean, look, he's a good guy who earned a lot of points that day he broke down and cried. And the Muppet voice being what it is, genetic. I like his contribution when he bothers to think about it and not drop or a word that sounds like another word so he can make some overt comment pointing to his desires to have Nate's penis in his biggest orifice.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
And that was the gist of it. At that point, I told him, if you don't send an email, I'm just going to read this. And he goes, please don't. That's too heartfelt.
Too late.
Too late.
Well.
Womp womp.
Nihilist.
Was not nihilist.
It just says no in the chat.
Oh, okay. But anyway, yeah, the point is someone who contributes to our show, who's been a long-time listener, feels that you genuinely don't actually contribute anything. How do you feel about that?
Excuse me, nihilist. There's a lot more to contributing than just making, quote, cogent points. It's also a thing called entertainment and funniness. And I make a lot of it.
I don't think you bring either of those factors.
You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it.
Really?
Do we know it? I didn't know.
Everybody knows it.
I don't know any of what
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. See, if you say it 3 times, that makes it true.
Yeah, the more you repeat it to yourself, the more true it becomes.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Okay.
Right. You want to read this email that we got?
Yep. This is from John.
Okay, John.
Hey, John.
You read my kind of funny email. You guys.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, from last week.
I thought it was pretty funny.
You guys clearly didn't watch the clip. The info about demands being met wasn't just trickled down through Kind of Funny. It was negotiation papers released by the lawyers. If you would take 10 minutes to watch something, maybe you would see what the source is. Unfortunately, you guys are too far up your own asses to take the time to actually research your topics or do more than a skimming of the news, rather than actually look into the news deeper. There's a lot of info out there available to everyone. For some reason, you guys have a hard time finding it. And when you do the traffic of a podcast like Kind of Funny, you aren't begging game devs for free games. Game devs are begging them to talk about their games. It's advertisement for them, and they frequently shred games, even games made by friends of theirs. They don't bend over for game devs like you seem to think. They don't even really review games, and it really just comes... That cannot be good for your already bad throat.
Yeah, stop that.
Get that out of your mouth. And it really just comes across as envy from you, especially Nate. I'm not going to say you're I'm not going to say you're a failing podcast, but you don't seem to be growing rapidly either. Obviously, you have your new show in the works, but Jesus, you can't even stay above $2,000 on the Patreon for more than a few days at a time without having a call to arms.
Shots fired
At the end of every episode. Best wishes, and I think that's a thumbs up or a peanut.
No, that's a middle finger.
That's a middle finger.
Definitely
Never
a middle
mind.
finger. Yes.
Best wishes and a middle finger.
All right. Well, this is clearly someone who's never bothered to contribute to the show before.
Hold on. So talking to actual voice actors doesn't count as due diligence?
I think it does.
No, apparently it doesn't.
I mean, because we've talked to...
Kind of Funny hasn't done it, then what's it?
But Kind of Funny...
Ooh.
This guy making fun of Christ is my new arch enemy. I will protect you, Christ. I am your disciple. You are the savior of FEC. All hail Christ.
Stop it.
Why'd you do that?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you know that he's going to call himself that now?
Kind of Funny Games has been handed documents from the video game company's lawyers that claim that 90% of their demands were met.
That still does not prove that that's...
From their lawyers.
Right. That's
Lawyers
still
are
very
very
one-sided. Where do you... I told you last time, okay, that statement is a statement from game development companies. It has been disseminated through Kind of Funny, and it's been disseminated through plenty of other different places.
Maybe he doesn't know what that means. Can you explain it in a different way?
Well, when a video game company or someone who is controlling the information says, look, okay, this is our view and this is the only view of that. Okay? These are very, very powerful companies that when they say things, like when they put out statements, people don't tend to question it. Oh, well, that statement came from a video game developer and their lawyers, so that must be 100% true. I don't buy that for a second.
When they disseminate something, it means that they have worded it in a way that they want to, so a very specific message comes through about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's all of the truth. It doesn't mean you're getting all of the details or all of one side of a story.
And I'm not presenting any counter argument that says I know 100% of the truth.
No, of course not.
What I know is based on James Arnold Taylor, is based on David Hayter, and it's based on Sean Schimmel talking to us about this issue. That's what that's based on.
Not good enough.
We don't have, you know what, sorry, we don't have the fucking Rolodex and the dick-sucking skills to be able to be where Kind of Funny has positioned themselves.
You don't think that Goku is a reliable source?
Seriously.
I think he's a pretty fucking reliable source.
Saved the world how many times?
That's right.
If he was so great, he wouldn't have to save the world. It would be saved once.
And he wouldn't die every time he saved the world either.
Well, he did die a lot.
He did.
I only died once.
I mean, look. Clearly, this guy loves Kind of Funny, and he has been upset by the fact that we dismiss it.
We don't respect their authority.
Yeah, that's what this strikes at the heart of. Like, that's why would you write this if not for you didn't even bother to watch it.
It's because you're envious. He wants you to know that you're just envious of Kind of Funny. Yeah.
I mean, it's like people don't understand being dismissive of shit like this. They're like, oh, well, I presented a pretty cogent argument on that, and I included the link for you to watch. I needed you to sit down and spend 15 minutes of your time to be able to count. No, you fucking sent an email and an opinion that I had based on... Fuck you, man. Like, why should I take any of this seriously? Why should I take the 10 minutes to sit down and watch the shitty video that you've attached to your email? Why should I? Is it because I ask you for money? Is it because we do the show? What is it? Oh, I come off uninformed? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And if at the end of the day that translates to less income, fine. Oh, it's such a big deal to be below $2,000. We do make you know what? We've explained multiple times on this show that the $2,000 goal, that was a stretch goal that was made for the account. We didn't have an intention on doing this show. We said, hey, if by whatever astronomical means we get to this point, we will launch this show.
That was a shoot the moon goal.
It was a shoot the moon goal. We didn't even have a name picked out for this fucking show. This is a show that is done only by the support of our patrons.
And at one point, we were almost at $3,000. Thank you very much. How often do you see that? Honestly.
On Patreon?
Yeah.
Dude, personally, I check like Patreons kind of obsessively. Like if I see anyone has a Patreon, I immediately click on that thing. Mostly to make my dick harder, and I've only seen...
I mean, it really is like if whenever you see someone with a Patreon, go look at what they make from it.
I've only seen 3 people to have a Patreon greater than ours. Overclocked Remix,
yep.
Jessica Niggery, and Jim Sterling.
Wait, whoa! Back that train up. Say
Overclock Remix?
No, the second name.
Jessica Niggery? What?
Negri.
What?
It's pronounced Negri.
Negri.
What did you say? Say that again.
He didn't say Negri.
I said Negri.
That's not what you said, buddy.
No, that is absolutely not
what you said.
Jesus.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
How long? Wait, hang on. How long have you been calling her that?
And do people get mad when you say that?
Well, I don't talk about cosplayers to people in general.
You know what? He probably doesn't talk about cosplayers in voice. He's probably usually typing it.
It's fair. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I said Negri.
Do you? Okay. You need
100% not what you said.
You're gonna need to go back and listen to this episode and compare how you say it to how Nika said it.
Do a side-by-side comparison.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
I don't think he
fun.
realized it, which is why it's even funnier.
No, he definitely didn't. He just shot right past that and went on to Jim Sterling. Which, by the way, what is
He's
Jim?
got a lot.
Yeah, Jim Sterling's insane.
He's got like 10,190 something.
Okay. So yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah, the only time that I see people above 3,000 is when they offer nudes.
Yeah.
And can you blame them?
Yeah.
And even then, some people who offer nudes don't make more than that, and they should be.
Yeah. Consider that we don't have to put ourselves out nude, and we make more than.
I know.
But to be
so
fair,
imagine if we did, Nika.
We would.
I know.
We would totally do that for money.
Look, I'm just it's insane.
Callie doesn't have boobs yet, so.
Like, I don't.
No one wants to see that. No one.
Can we like Photoshop his butt to look like boobs, like cleavage?
Oh my god.
That's a thing, you know.
I'm done.
Can we be done, please?
Yeah.
I want to go.
My
home.
voice is clearly.
Your voice is gone, and it's time to go home.
Yeah. So look, John, I appreciate the email. No, we didn't watch the video because you know what? The fact of the matter is that Kind of Funny is bought and sold, and we already knew that. We've known that for a long time. The fact that motherfucker was the guy hosting the FF15 launch event, that guy has done so much with, I mean, the people who host Kind of Funny and the people who've been involved with Kind of Funny are the same people who've been involved with gaming journalism for the last 15 years. And last I checked, nobody's happy with the state of game journalism. So, I mean, if you want to run with the status quo, that's fine. That's what Kind of Funny represents. So, no, I didn't need to take the time to watch your stupid video, which we completely debunked on the air anyway. Good. All right, great. Your source is a game developer, insider, or a lawyer. Fine. What the fuck ever. It doesn't change the fact that voice actors are telling a different story, that SAG-AFTRA is telling a different story, and you're just going at face value by what Kind of Funny has to say. And you know what? That says a lot about you. Doesn't say anything about me. I'm dumb. I'm purposely dumb. I come on the show. I know I'm dumb. I say dumb things. Sometimes it makes you giggle. But
it's kind of funny.
But the fact of the matter is that like you've got all up in arms and butt hurt about something that you only know half the data about. So do I. I only know about half the data, but I've actually done the homework and talked to fucking people that are involved with this shit. What did you do? You linked a fucking YouTube video. Can you do less? Can you quantifiably do less to try to prove me wrong? No, you can't, because linking a YouTube video, making a YouTube comment, or fucking typing bullshit is quantifiably the least amount that you can do to try to contribute to a fucking conversation. You could call the show. We have open lines. You can call whenever you want. You want to try to make me look like a fucking idiot? Then at least have the balls to call up the show and do it on the air. This is ridiculous.
Word.
And you know what? Kind of Funny being kind of funny, they could easily score an interview with the voice actor if they wanted to.
Absolutely.
But why don't they?
You know what? One of the other things that I wanted to point out about the Video Game Awards is, you know, I like Nolan North. I like him as a guy. I like him as an actor. I like him as a performer. But I really feel like he went up there and shat the bed with an opportunity to talk about why performance matters. I mean, I know it was like an aside. He goes, oh, well, I know performance matters, but you know what matters more is the hard work of Naughty Dog. Okay, fine. I'm glad. Look, Nolan, I'm glad that you like Naughty Dog. I'm glad that you went up there and sucked their dick for however many minutes you were giving your acceptance speech. But the fact of the matter is that not every development team is like Naughty Dog. Not all of them do the right things, and maybe they did the right things for you, but not everyone is getting that fucking treatment, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem when you sit there and suck off Naughty Dog and and all of the hard work that developers and coders do, that you know what that does? That signals to EA it's okay that we shit all over our development staff. It's okay that we put unrealistic sales expectations and unrealistic deadlines underneath these people and force them to stay at work longer and have crazier hours. That's justifiable because guess what? Naughty Dog does it and that's okay. I mean, I felt like Nolan went up there and made a bunch of excuses for a lot of shitty behavior that we see in this industry all the fucking time. And that was disappointing to hear from someone like him. And again, if you want to know how much of an industry insider bullshit like inside trading market is run in this industry, all you got to do is look at the Game Awards. The Game Awards are like a perfect poster child for that. Oh, we took Nintendo has problems with 2 of the games that we've nominated, and we're not going to give voice actors room to say anything. We're going to let Nolan, who we know has a really positive relationship with Naughty Dog, we're going to let him say something, but not the other 2 people on stage accepting the award. It's fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. And if you don't realize the way that show was directed very tightly, come on now. This industry is just made up of people who want to just keep sucking each other off, and it's fucking irritating. All right, my voice is gone. It's done.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You did this, John.
It's been like this. I was saving myself for this email. I was saving my voice for this email. Because you could hear it about halfway through the FF15 discussion.
If it's any consolation, it makes you sound like more of a badass.
Does it?
It does. Yeah.
It just makes my voice sound.
You sound more like a Dark Knight.
You sound like
you
Bruce
do.
Willis.
No, you sound like low and gravelly, and it is. It sounds good. I know it probably doesn't sound good to
No,
you.
it sounds terrible.
Like Clint Eastwood.
It sounds terrible.
Oh my God, that works. You got that right.
Yeah?
That reference was right. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, he was the cowboy from that one show with the Lone Ranger.
For the love of God, quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead, man.
God damn it.
All right, that's going to be it here for Final Encountercast. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in live at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast, finalencountercast.com to find the podcast. Thank you guys so much. That's going to be it. I want to thank all of my crew, including Pops, who's been hanging out in the studio here. We got Kooky, who connects all of our callers with the studio. And I also want to thank all of my hosts, my co-hosts, Robbie, Nika, Christ, and Callie. Have a good one. My name's Nate. Bye-bye.
Encountercast is a production of FinalEncountercast.com, Limit Break Radio, and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Nate Bender, Kooky Persona, Robbie Landis, Nika Altieri, and Callie Sloan. This show is made possible by the generous Patreon donors of the podcast, Limit Break Radio. Opening music provided by Keyboard Kid. More info and music can be found at keyboardkid208.bandcamp.com. Closing music provided by Sobzy. For more info, visit sobzy.bandcamp.com. For links to articles mentioned on this show, check out our live blog at finalencountercast.com. Final Encountercast and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.